to do a stream of how I became a Draconic High Priestess. I haven't really talked too much about this, about my journey to becoming a Draconic High Priestess, because most of that journey took place in my hiatus from YouTube. So if you're excited for that, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a cup of tea, or whatever you are interested in, or maybe a video game to play while you listen in. But I'm super excited. I hope you're super excited. But leave a like if you're ready to learn what it's like to become a Draconic High Priestess, especially bonus points. If you guys are interested in the Draconic path yourself, this might be a good path for you too. So while we wait for everybody to just come on in and mosey, I am, of course, drinking the Starfire water. Okay, we are obsessed with the Starfire water. Look at like the inside of it, right? Hold on, there's a lot of condensation. The inside, there's like all these symbols in there, all these sacred symbols in there. And I love it. It's so much fun. So this water bottle, well, glass, if you will, but this bottle, I'm obsessed. I love that. I love this. It's just so delicious. Hello, Mistress Angelica777. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. I love that additive green on you. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And welcome, Moonlight Sorcery. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Dragon Fae Rose, how you doing? Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. So good to see you. Nightmare Fuel Studios, as always. Welcome. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Shade, I mean. Oh, no, that's good. It's like my favorite shade of green, honestly. Alice White, hi, Zara, you're looking well. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Micah Moon Kitten, hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. And Basilius Ravencroft, how was your day? It was great. Now that you're here for your daily dose of Dragon Feather. So with Izanator, hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Dude, I'm so excited for today's stream. Yesterday's stream was kind of a little bit of yesterday I got a lot of flack for the stream we did. Surprise. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but like I ended up posting some like some of the messages that we channeled from my Dragon Guardian pickle chips yesterday. I did some highlight reels on like my other social media, and like here I posted it here on my shorts as well. I'm just getting a lot of like, this shit's demonic, like you're mentally ill, like that means we're doing the right thing, okay? They are only gonna give you backlash in this life if you are doing something right, okay? If you are following your truth, you're gonna get haters, okay? Because that's too unique and out of the box, okay? So leave a like on the video if you're excited for dragons, all right? I hope you guys are excited as I am, because this was honestly, I mean, like ever since I learned about dragons, like in a spiritual practice, like when I was around like just like really young, like 13 or something, like I kind of realized that like I wanted to like be, what's it called? I wanted to like get as high within this like Draconic path practice as I possibly could. And like my first introduction to the Draconic path was through DJ Conway's books Dancing with Dragons and Mystical Dragon Magic. I know, albeit they're kind of a controversial source for dragons nowadays, which is fair, but like my journey to becoming a Draconic High Priestess was never possible through a book, right? It wasn't like I didn't have elders per se. Like my elders were my dragons, right? Like the only one I really had guiding me through through the path of the dragon on my pursuit of becoming a Draconic High Priestess was just my dragon guardians. So it might be a little bit different than some other people's practice, but that's the beauty of it, you know what I mean? I haven't watched yesterday's live. Can't wait to check it out, though. I was actually thinking about how you became a high priestess today. Glad you manifested it. Yay! I really seriously recommend yesterday's live. There's so many good little, like, gems in there from Pickle Chips. It's totally recommended to go check it out. But, yeah, I really wanted to just kind of, like, touch base with you guys about, like, the difference between, like, a Draconic Witch and, like, a Draconic High Priestess. Because, like, the Draconic Witch isn't always a high priestess, but the Draconic High Priestess isn't always a witch, I guess you could say. So there is some overlap, and I am both a high priestess and a witch. But some high priestesses would consider themselves like healers or oracles or mediums or things like that. They wouldn't necessarily consider themselves a witch. But I do, and you don't need to be a witch to work with dragons. So I just want to like kind of like make that clear for anybody who might not know or feel like they have to. I'm looking to work more with dragon energy. I'll have to pop into the next one. Hell yeah. It's dragons are the best. I literally might be biased. I am biased, but I do not care. Girl, I had correct this one woman about the Freemasons. Oh no! Freemasonry is just a whole rabbit hole that we should dive down one time. Azura! Good to see you guys! I am reading the Dragon Guardian books. Oh, that's exciting. Moonlight Sorcery. Yeah, I love all of the dragons, all of the books, all of the materials. Okay, we need that shit. But like, I wanted to kind of like preface this video with like, nobody, like, there's not like one way you have to be like in order to become a Draconic High Priestess. Like, the Draconic path and like just like dragon magic in general is very much a, what's the word? It was originally an oral tradition, right? So what does that mean? That means that we were only able to learn about it through word of mouth, for example. So like if what's it called? Like, I wouldn't be able to like read about Draconic witchcraft. I would have had to be initiated into an oral tradition and learn from the teaching of the elders. That is really truly how like it originated, right? At least the Draconic traditions that I'm familiar with were oral traditions and originated as such. They were very much hereditary type practices that were either passed down through family lineages or just through like local communities that, you know, practiced that in particular. We are definitely needing a live someday about Freemasons. I'm very intrigued by that topic. Yeah, my grandmother was a Freemason. She was raised a Freemason, so I have a lot of Freemason stuff in my bloodline. And I'm sure if I went through like my grandparents' things, that I would probably find some Freemasonry stuff. It would be really interesting to try and see if they have any Freemasonry books. That would be really fun. The first witch who inspired me to be a witch, love from South Africa, Simi Lungas, love, oh my gosh, South Africa. I would love to go to Africa. That is like one of the places I'm like, I need to visit. I thought women could only be Eastern stars, or am I misinformed? Oh, you're definitely misinformed. Are you talking about Freemasonry? I actually have no idea about that. My great-grandfather was a Mason, so I also have a personal connection as well. Have his Masonic ring and his Masonic label pen. I don't remember exactly about the Eastern Star stuff. Like, I was never initiated into it, right? But like, my grandmother was raised Freemason and left it for Mormonism, which I don't really know which one's better. Like, I don't want to open that can of worms. I just don't. But so for now, like with like my practice and with what I'm, you know, working on in my craft, like it's very much like everything I do as a high priestess, right, is like advanced magic, right? So like what I would consider the basics in like my craft now as a Draconic High Priestess would be quantum mechanics, would be what's it called? Wow, why did that just freaking leave my brain? It's okay, I'm a little frazzled today. But like alchemy, thank you. I don't know why that word left my brain, but alchemy, quantum mechanics are like really truly like the fundamentals of like what I'm working with. And then universal law, right? So like law of paradox, law of detachment, law of equivalent exchange, you know, things like that, right? Law of assumption, like those are like the basic parts, the foundations of my work as a Draconic High Priestess. The work that I do as a Draconic High Priestess now is very, like, it varies, right? So, like, sometimes I'll do ceremonial, like, actual, like, ceremonial witchcraft. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll literally just, like, be in the car on my way to my next destination and using the altar that I've created in my internal space. For those of you guys who are unaware, I have made a video about creating an inner realm for your craft, and I will often visit my inner realm. Imagination is huge with my, like, imagination visualization is huge with my work as a Draconic High Priestess, and finally, the mediumship. I've been working a lot more with channeling spirits. That's something I've never been comfortable with doing when I was not a High Priestess. And it's because I had to kind of like earn my stripes, if you will. I had to do like trial and error, a little bit of like what was gonna work for me and what wasn't gonna work for me in terms of my practice. So it was really just like, you know, something that I couldn't have really made up by myself. Like, it was something that I couldn't have found in a book or something like that. It was very like, I was intuitionally guided to do certain things to become a Draconic High Priestess, and it was my dragon guardians who were like basically giving the messages to my intuition to pick up on, if that makes sense. Imagination with dragons is key. Absolutely, Dragon Fae Rose. Like, I think people really forget that. Like, have some motherfucking imagination if you're gonna work with dragons, because like otherwise, how can you even consider what they look like? How can you even consider what they're capable of? How can you even, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to gotta use the noggin a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I always thought Masons could only be men and women could be Eastern Stars if they know a male Mason. You might be right about that, Angelica. All I know is that like my grandmother was like in like a free Masonic like family, right? And like she was like basically sold to like my grandpa. Like I don't want to say sold because there wasn't like a monetary exchange that I know of. Oh, that was creepy. I don't know what, we're having weird electrical issues here, so just give me a second. Not while I'm talking about my grandpa who's passed away. He's literally like messing with the lights, guys. Let's see. Yeah, dude, this is no. Why is this happening? I don't know why. This like sometimes doesn't like give good like. There we go. Let's try. Let's see if that worked. But yeah, like, so I think that's better. Yeah, we're back. Imagination and faith, yes, is a nader. Because like the reality is, like, for my craft, like, I wouldn't be able to do anything without that faith. But as I was saying about my like grandparents, like, my grandma was essentially a child bride, right? Like, not that she was like sold to my grandpa, but she was a child bride or a teenage bride, and like, I don't know if that's any different, child bride, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of like, yeah. My family lineage, if you really want to learn about it, it's actually really fucking sad what's happened to the women in my in my lineage. Part of the work that I do today is very much to honor the women who we brutally lost in my family line due to a lot of different things. So it's just really intense. Because the Eastern Star pin I have belonged to my great-grandmother. Freemasonry is a fraternity. The Eastern Star is for women. Oh, okay, Nightmare Fuel Studios. That makes sense to me. Good, just making sure I'm not misinformed because I do a lot of research on different things. Yeah, no, you guys are definitely more informed about Freemasonry than I am. I just only know that I have like a connection to it via like family, like a couple generations removed from it. But like, I know like there were like Freemasonry like memorabilia from like my great-great-grandparents on my grandma's like side. So I know that that's a thing, right? But like, I just don't really like, I don't really like know how I feel about Freemasonry. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if it's like, you know, I mean, like, I had a Latin teacher who was a Freemason for a while. He taught me Latin in exchange for me teaching him witchcraft way back in the day. And I learned a little bit about Freemasonry there and how it's like really kind of similar to witchcraft. So that was pretty interesting to me, how a lot of their rituals and stuff, the higher you get in the ranks, are very like witchy. So I found that very interesting when I learned about that. I feel like not many people talk about that, like how like Freemasonry is actually kind of witchy as fuck. But yeah, they do some pretty symbolic, ritually magical things, you know, and it looks a little sus. It looks a little like, oh, what's going on here? You know? Have you read any of Virginia Chandler Dragon books yet? No, but I need to. My Dragon Guardians are telling me to read all of the dragon books on the market. All like the ones that I've like missed, just because I've been out of like, you know, this like this space, like the dragon space online for so long, just because I've been dealing with my own mental health and like just my own practice outside of that, that like I've missed a lot of like, you know, just materials and stuff that are like going around and stuff like that. And so my Dragon Guardians want me to read that material after I'm done reading, after I'm done writing my books about dragons, so I'm not like influenced, if that makes sense. They are closely similar to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Okay, that makes so much sense. The phrase "so mote it be" that witches use all the time comes from Freemasonry. That makes a lot of sense, because my Latin teacher, who was a Freemason, told me how to say it in Latin, which is ut sit sic. That means "so mote it be" in Latin. Interesting. Yes, interesting indeed. I actually have to just take a little sip of my drinky drink. I've been like, yesterday I got in trouble with the algorithm for drinking my drinky drink on camera, so I have to do it hella off camera now, because that's never, you know what, actually, fuck this shit. I'm gonna grab a cup so I can drink my drinky drink on stream and not get freaking canceled. Thank you, YouTube, for demonetizing me all the time. Ugh. Okay. I brought my cup. It's really cute. Look, it's Hello Kitty. Oh my gosh. Just, it's so cute. It's all that matters to me, guys. I hope you know. I make weird noises. If you're into that, you can subscribe. If not, you can unsubscribe. I'll understand. I know it's not for everybody, so there's that. What I am going to do is just pour this little thing in my cup so we can just have a good time together, because this is ridiculous that I got banned. Dude, literally, I posted like a short. I literally posted a short of like a highlight reel from yesterday, right? Fucking demonetized. I hate YouTube, guys. Got such a love-hate relationship with YouTube. I'm still learning how to use them, but I also got these. Ah, I'm so excited! I'm a Kuromi person myself, yes. Interesting, that's insane. No, Cinnamoroll, right? Cinnamoroll is one of my favorites. And Cinnamoroll's right there. So cute. And I love Kuromi. She's on her little witchy broom. Okay, I'm sorry. This world is really intense, okay, guys? And the only thing that I got going for myself is Sanrio products. So please just understand that I need it. I need it, okay? And I will squeal. Sorry. Not sorry. It's apple juice, okay? Apple juice, okay. Anyway, I got these microphones. I'm so excited because I really want to start doing ASMR. I know we're supposed to talk about Draconic stuff, Draconic Priestess stuff. I'll jump into that just in 2 seconds, but just... Okay, I've been really excited about this because I also am kind of like interested in going to like, because I live in LA, for those of you guys who don't know, and I do like celebrity management and marketing as my day job. And I really have this like feeling that I need to go to like Hollywood, like Santa Monica Pier, like Venice Beach, like all these like places where like popular TikTokers will like interview people on the street. And I want to ask people about like dragons and witchcraft because like, or like all of that, right? Because like, I've never seen it. I've never seen it, okay? And like, I just... So, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. So with that being said, thank you for the Sanrio hype in the chat. We all know that it's necessary. I also love my Melody. She's in the little like, she's a little choo-choo train. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, anyway, I'll drink it with Kuromi on the front, with Kuromi and cinnamon roll, because they're the best. Okay, so cheers. I have a plate that is Hello Kitty shaped that came with a fork and a spoon and chopsticks. Oh my gosh. I have a ramen bowl, like a Kuromi ramen bowl that has like Kuromi chopsticks. It's a problem. It's a problem. I don't mind that it's a problem. I like shop for like really like rare Sanrio items on Mercari. So we're deep in the Sanrio bullshit. I've been like trying to like take a step back from buying so many Sanrio stuff just because like, come on man, like capitalism doesn't need my money right now. I should just be trying to invest in things like, oh, my health, oh, my channel, like, oh, like, let me make stuff for the hatchlings, like, let me make you guys some merch or something, like, I don't know. I would rather do that than like buy like Hello Kitty merch, like, help, okay. But anyway, I digress. So for today, I wanted to share with you guys, 20 minutes in, we're starting the video. Sorry guys, it's been unhinged today. But, you know, here's the thing. Today, I really was just called to share with you guys, like, the journey of what my path was like to become a Draconic High Priestess. And I was thinking I would start like in the middle, like when I left this channel, but Pickle Chips wants me to start from the beginning, which is kind of annoying, but like we're just gonna go with that. I can't stop thinking about Joanne's current Halloween collection though. I know, it's killing me. Yes, dragon merch. Oh, I know. Oh, I know what you mean. I can't buying goth clothing. Yeah, I can't stop buying goth clothing and other stuff. I love you. I know, Lunar Rainbow. It gets me every time and I cannot stop, but it's fine. Because I'm like trying to do it where like now I have to just like get certain things done. Like if I'm like able to like, you know, like get a new client, if I'm able to like book a new client, then I can go get another Hello Kitty bag. You know what I mean? Like I can't just go shopping to go shopping. Like maybe someday, maybe someday in the future we'll do that. But like right now, like I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money. I'm trying to like maybe get a real house or move out of the country. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in this country. Okay, it's a mess. Dragon merch, yes. I have a little 3D printed dragon keychain on my bag. Oh, dude, the thumbnail of this video has my 3D printed dragon. This was a gift. It's an articulated dragon. This was a gift from one of my friends. And like we keep this dragon in the studio. We're calling it the Aura Dragon. It's the Studio Guardian. Little 3D printed. Look how beautiful that color is. I love him. Also, if Dragon Fae Rose is still in the chat, she also sent me one. That's like a tiny little like, I don't have it like in the room with me right now, but like it's a like tiny little like orange, like pink and yellow, like rosy type dragon that's like supposed to look like my fairy dragon guardian, and I'm obsessed with it. Thank you, Rose. By the way, I love it very much, but I wish I had Rosie with me as well to play with us right now, but she's all the way in the other room, and like, you know, I'm still in the middle of setting up my altars, so when we get there we'll show you. But like, listen to this. It sounds so good. It's like, yes, I love him. Oh, his wings move. Isn't that cute? He's like, wee. Okay, way too hyped. LMAO, I can't believe you are a real person. Either can I. I wake up every day and I look in the morning and I'm like, oh, she's still alive. The specific one I have is called the Dark Heart Dragon. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. We actually have a 3D printer, and like we're working on trying to custom design some 3D printed dragons. I'm hoping that I can understand 3D printing enough to start offering custom dragons for your like dragon guardians. So don't hold your breath. I'm trying. Technology's kind of hard, and 3D printing is kind of a lot. So bear with me, okay? But for the, give me 14 of them right now. I know, I love them so much. And look, they literally just like, here. Oh no, it's getting stuck on me. Okay, I can't. What is it doing? And then look at its little tail. Ah, I can't breathe. Okay, so we're gonna start from the beginning about how I became a Draconic High Priestess. Very, very distracted today. But it all started, truly, because Pickle Chip says I have to start at the beginning, it all started when I was a literal child. Like, some of my earliest memories being alive were playing with my imaginary dragons, or imaginary friends, that were really just my dragon guardians. Playing with them when I would go to the beach, or when I would go to, like, the park, or, like, in the forest, or, like, at the pool, or whenever I would play, like, games with my friends. It's just, like, really was, like, such a huge part of my life, right? I think 3D printing dragons sounds neat, especially as a blind person. Ooh! You know, I'll tell you something. The texture of the 3D printed dragons is so much fun, and like the sound of them, so much fun. I'm sure they would be really engaging if you are blind that way. And it's like the texture too, like look, you see if you get up close, there's like all these like stripes, like you can like hear it a little bit, right? It's just, I wish I had like nails. I need to go get my nails done, but like I haven't been able to go get my nails done because like my foot was just so messed up, and I like getting my toes and my nails done at the same time, so I was just like, I'll just wait. Hi, I'm here! Welcome, Starlings! We are talking about how I became a Draconic High Priestess, and I'm showing off my little 3D printed dragon because we started talking about him. I'm also obsessed with alien merch! Okay, side fact, I think dragons could possibly be aliens. So maybe we have to have dragon alien merch. Cheers to that idea. Are you an alien? Or are you a dragon? Or are you both? ¿Por qué no las dos? Like, why? How you became a what? Flem22. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Or welcome, if you're new here. Yay! Say, okay. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Was that slow enough? I hope. I am 50 years old. Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna put this dragon away. Mostly because it is meant to stay on our giant amethyst geode. I'll show you guys some of the crystals in here a little bit later because we're in the studio and we just have 4 feet tall amethyst cathedrals. We have 122-pound rose quartz spheres. We have like museum grade pyrite in here. So that was amazing. Hell yeah. What's it that you do? Well, Flem22, I'm glad that you asked. So here we talk about dragons. I'm obsessed. We talk about witchcraft and magic, and we talk about music. My day job, I work in celebrity management, media marketing for my day job. But here I like to be a witch and talk about my magic, and I originally created this channel to see if magic was real. Spoiler alert, it is, and I use my magic to make my dreams come true in the music industry. So if you're interested in following that journey, leave a like and maybe subscribe. You know, we would love to have you here to join us on the journey. But, fun fact, I have been working with dragons for about 20 years now, and we're talking about here in this video how I became a Draconic High Priestess. Which, if you're unfamiliar with what a high priestess is, for example, if you look in the church, you'll have priests in the church that will like lead the congregation or the sermons and deliver like basically speeches to like the people who go to church. That is like just like a male version of a priestess, right? Or that's just one type of like priest type of like thing. And then, what's it called? A high priestess is like a female version of that, basically. Not necessarily like in a Christian context, but I'm talking about in a context of working with dragon spirits. So today we're here to talk about that, and my journey to becoming a Draconic High Priestess began with my deep connection to dragons as a child. I had very, very, very vivid memories of playing with dragons when I was a little girl, and ever since, like, I want to say, like, very vivid up until, like, 7 or 8 is when I, like, kind of fell off of, like, being really connected with my dragons. Don't get me wrong, I always, like, loved or, like, was passionate about dragons, but, like, working with them or, like, playing with them like I did as a child, like, that just wasn't a thing anymore. And then around the age of 12 or 13, that's when I, like, consciously discovered witchcraft and magic, and, then that kind of, like, started the whole, like, the whole snowball effect of me, like, using, like, me working with dragons in my witchcraft. I need magic for my career too, baby. Honestly, Flem 22, don't we all? Okay, what kind of magic though? Draconic magic. So some people will be like a green witch, so they'll like practice things like, you know, nature magic, or they'll practice like water magic or fire magic or like celestial magic or things like that. But for me, I personally, like, whenever I do any sort of like witchcraft or any sort of like spell or any sort of like ritual, dragons are always present for me. And all of my magic and all of my knowledge and all of my, I guess you could say, like, power as a witch comes from working with my dragons. Not all witches are like that. Some witches don't get their power externally, right? Like, but when I work with dragons, I can show up with my own magic, but it's not going to be dragon magic unless the dragons add to it, at least in my personal experience. I can't speak for anyone else, but that's just my personal experience. Noor Food. I am 16 years. My name's Noor. I like your name. That's fun to say. Noor. My name's Noor. Sorry. Let me stop. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. Christy, love your outfit. Oh my gosh, the dress, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you guys are so, so sweet. Flam, supposedly Jupertranian magic helps with that. Interesting. I subscribed when I first saw your live streams. Really, Starlings? That's so awesome. Because like that really trips me out, because like Pickle Chips is so, my Dragon Guardian Pickle Chips is so adamant about me going live. They're like, I need you to go live. I need you to go live. I need you to go live, okay? You know what I mean? You have a perfect English. I am not cool in English. It's alright. I'll give you the whole stream in English accent if you'd want it. Would you like it? Would you subscribe for it? Love, it's bloody brilliant. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, what language is that, Flem? Hey Azura, I have been a Draconic Witch and have been following you for about 5-ish years. I have trouble doing meditations in DJ Conway book. Have you ever thought of doing guided meditations? Yes, Siberian Sushi. I'm gonna be doing live guided meditations. This is what Pickle Chips wants me to do. And like, I mean, my other Dragon Guardians want me to do it as well, like, and just depending on the type of guided meditation that I'll do. Honestly, fuck it. The next time I go live, I'll do a guided meditation to connect with your Dragon Guardians. Does that sound like a good idea? I need them to be spoken out loud to follow. What the heck are you talking about, my friend? Where? Siberian Sushi. Did you leave another comment? Did I miss it? I thought. I don't know what I thought. I don't know. Don't see you. Flem is speaking Arabic. Oh, that doesn't look like Arabic though, is it? That looks, I don't know. How old are you? I'm 50. Yes, when will you be live again? Well, I try to go live every single 24 hours for your daily dose of Dragon Feather. But sometimes, you know, life has other plans. So I do intend to be live tomorrow at some point in the day. But whether or not we'll get there is totally up to how life works. That looks like, is that Korean? I recognize the writing. It is Arabic? Okay, well, I failed because my Dragon Guardian Pickle Chips says the English language is stupid and I need to learn better languages. That's funny. So I gotta learn Arabic. I gotta learn, excuse me, I gotta learn Arabic. I gotta learn, what's the one? Gaelic, which is the native language for Irish people. And I don't know. Do you have any plans for the OF? Yes, we're going to be talking about sex magic over there. The vintage system. Hello, hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. With that being said, take a look at Islam. Very peaceful. Yes, no, we read the Quran here all the time. My dragon guardians tell me to study the Quran. They tell me to read the Quran. I actually have a lot of Qurans. Surprise. Yeah, no, I love the Quran. It's a beautiful book. What do you think about Arabic people in Islam? Oh, fucking obsessed. Are you kidding me? Love it. Okay. I've been to masjids before. Beautiful. Okay. I think it's insanely incredible. The more that I learn about, okay, fun fact, I actually get a lot of people who are Muslim on this channel who tell me that my dragon guardians are jinn. So that was interesting. So then I had to do that one verse. I forget the actual verse, but I had to do the one verse in the Quran where you like recite it aloud and it like is supposed to like banish jinn from you or something along those lines. But my dragon guardians love listening to the Quran. Can I speak Arabic? I mean, not very much of it. I can say like Alhamdulillah. I could say that was so white girl version. I like Bismillah. Like I know like those kinds of words, right? Like Inshallah, you know. But like as for like actual Arabic, like I'm doing my best. I actually like I'm probably more familiar with Urdu just from the people that I know than Arabic, but yes, I'm really trying to get into the, they may be Muslim jinn. That's what people say, but they're not, because like jinn can't be around for certain parts of the Quran. They literally are not allowed. It's just, that's how it works. So I'm not talking about jinns, I'm just letting you know that like, what's the word? I'm just letting you know dragons aren't jinns. Like that's like, I can't really speak on jinns. I'm educating myself about it just because I get that a lot on my channel, right? Like just I get a lot of people saying like, you're talking to jinn, and I'm just like, what the heck are you talking about? You know? But the dragons are very different in the sense that they tell me, the dragon guardians tell me that they are as much, they what's the word? They create us as much as we create them. Does that make sense? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the difference between dragons and jinns. Are you familiar with what jinns are? They're a particular type of spirit that's in Islamic teachings or in the Quran, if you are familiar with that. And to burn on a lake of fire, the vending system. Speaking of jinn, did Allah really create the jinns? Did the Quran state Allah created all the jinns? Yes, the Quran states that Allah creates the jinns out of smoke and fire. Can you speak Japanese? I wish. I can, I can go ada ada. I don't know. I don't know if that's Japanese. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm racist. Let me know. I'll repent, because every white person's racist. If you disagree, you're even more racist. Let me stop. Never heard of jinns. Luna, have you seen Aladdin? Because genie, when you rub the lamp, that is like a reference to jinns, if that makes sense. Heading out for the night, early start tomorrow. Thank you for joining though, Dragonfae. It was always lovely seeing you. I can eat Japanese food. I love Japanese food. Here we go again. Real Studios. Okay, let me stop talking about jinns and let me start talking about being a Draconic Priestess. Okay? It all started with the initial connection I had with my dragons as a kid, right? And, you know, my dragons have always, like, I've always seen them without seeing them, if that makes sense. Like, I see them with my third eye. I, like, essentially, like, can, like, visualize, like, I essentially can, like, visualize them sometimes in my space, only if they give me that vision, right? Like, I could try and visualize them on myself, but it'll never be as clear as, like, when they give me that vision, right? Because that's how I know the dragon is present, okay? And so that's why, like, when I first started, like, at 13, right, because I fell off my path from, like, 7, I guess, like, I didn't fall off the path, I, like, got disconnected with dragons during that time, and then when I was about 12 or 13, that's when I really started getting into witchcraft, and that's when I really started going back into, you know, like, my roots, like, that's when my love for dragons reawakened, that's when I realized I was dragonkin, that's when I realized, you know, that, like, I really resonate with Dragon Fae, and I really resonate with the fairy realm as well, and that's when I learned that all of the like mythical creatures are essentially all interconnected to each other in their own way. So that was really important for me when I first like consciously started practicing witchcraft, which was right around the same time that I started this YouTube channel. When I started practicing witchcraft, I had nobody to tell me what was right or wrong. I only had religious trauma from being in the church. I was being ostracized by everyone around me, being told I was basically a demon or a devil worshiper, Satan worshiper, what I've heard it all, bitches. And then I literally was just like, had nobody to talk to. Even my friends thought I was a freak. Whoops-a-daisy, when I tried to talk about this way back in the day. And so now when I'm on my YouTube channel, that was kind of the whole point. Like, I wanted to make this a space for me to talk about just witchcraft, magic. Is it real? And then you guys, you know, through my exploration of magic, I found Wicca, I found all of that, and I never left my love of dragons, right? But believe it or not, it was one of the hatchlings who left a comment on one of my videos so many years ago saying, have you heard of the Draconic Path? And that is how I discovered the Draconic Path. And then I learned about DJ Conway's books. And when I discovered Draconic Witchcraft on the internet, it was back when like no one was making content about it. There might have been maybe 1 or 2 people who might have posted a thing or two about it, but it wasn't like, let's make a whole channel about this. It wasn't like, we're dedicated to this. It wasn't like, you know, they were seasoned practitioners. It was like very much just either based around the DJ Conway Dancing with Dragon books, or it was based around like Dungeons and Dragons. It was really hard to find anything else, right? So you guys got a lot of good questions, but let me just try and get this out of my system really quick before I just completely just miss the whole title of the video. So then after that, I started, you know, consciously diving into it, and then I bought the DJ Conway books, and on that time, during that time, I'm literally making videos about this, right? So I like read the books, and then I like start practicing it, and then I like meet my first like dragon guardian, like officially Monte, which is just like a term that like the DJ Conway books like recommended you call your dragon guardian or your main dragon guardian. So when I was very, very small, oh, you're trying to get me to take a shahada? See, I know too much for you, brother. But anyway, like, I literally swear that, like, when I started learning about the dragons and stuff like that, like, and I started, you know, like, learning about, you know, like, I really resonated with the elemental dragon guardians in the DJ Conway book, and I'm pretty sure with just how Wiccan I was at that time, I really just like took the DJ Conway books, and they really, really are like Wicca friendly, right? They're very much Wicca coded, right? Wiccan coded, if you will. They don't like, I don't know if the books like outwardly say Draconic Wicca in there, but like it pretty much is a Draconic Wiccan book. If you ask me and pretty much anyone else who like practices like Draconic Witchcraft will probably say the same thing, or roughly, right? But like I pretty much took the DJ Conway books and then like plugged that into Wicca. It was like, I plugged the two of them together, right? And then I started making videos about it because it was very much like I was experimenting. I like was looking up how to use dragons in witchcraft, how to use dragons in Wicca, and nothing happened. There was nothing online. There was literally a void, and I was like, oh, I gotta make videos about this. Nobody's talking about this. So then I started posting videos about it, and then the more I posted videos about it, the more you guys shared your experiences with your dragon guardians, and then I like initiated myself into the inner rings, which is a part of the DJ Conway books. And for many, many years, I would say I was working through the rings for about 4 to 5 years before I got into a really abusive relationship with a drug dealer and started doing a lot of drugs and like really just almost died many times. Very like honestly, like yeah, free Palestine. Honestly, alhamdulillah, I'm here, okay? Like alhamdulillah, I made it out of that shit. Like Allahu Akbar, because dear Lord, how did I make it out of that alive? I don't know. By the grace of God, that's the only way. That's the only way. Fun fact, for those of you guys who are new, my dragon guardians, when I have always throughout my lifetime had like such a hatred for God, or such like a I was like, fuck God, God is dead, like anyone who worships gods are like pieces of shit, they're just abusive pieces. I had awful things to say, okay? And guess who told me not to do that? Guess who told me you need to believe in God? Guess who told me don't give up faith? Guess who told me that? Dragon guardians, my dragon guardians. My dragon guardians. Oh my God, thank you. Of course, Muhammad the King. I have a family in Gaza that I'm sponsoring, actually. If you click the link in my channel, you can go to Omar and Mara's fundraiser on GoFundMe. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, I don't need any money. Just please go tip them. I would really appreciate that. What are you talking about? Game of Thrones, all years dragons? Hell yeah, Stephen Joseph. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. I am a Draconic witch. I've been practicing Draconic witchcraft for about 20 years, and I am also a Draconic high priestess, and I'm sharing my journey, my spiritual path with the dragons of how I got here. And we are right around the time of when I was making Draconic Wicca videos on this channel, and then I started making and that's when, around that time, I would say, you know, right when I got into Draconic Wicca, I was slowly starting to not resonate with Wicca anymore, and that's when I decided to like completely go full blown. It's going to be another one of those busy nights I see. It's okay, nightmare. Just like don't worry about it unless people are like actually calling me like evil or something, okay? So you don't know, so you don't have to like what's the word? You don't have to like stress out about it, okay? Like, cause we get a lot of different, like, we get a lot of people from all walks of life on this channel, and like we love our Muslim friends. So like if like you have a differing opinion than like witchcraft or like dragon magic, and that's weird for you, like, just keep it nice, you know? This is a place for all religions, all spiritualities, all faiths to come together, hang out, learn about each other, be geeky, cheeky, and freaky a little bit, and party hard, woohoo! Yeah, let's have fun. Allahu Akbar, I know them. By the way, I'm from Gaza too. Oh my gosh, Muhammad the King, it's so good to have you here. My kufi is in my other room, but my household, we are all about Gaza, free Palestine. Before your live streams, I didn't believe in God, but you have made my life easier, happier, and safer. Starlings, you're gonna make me cry. That is literally like, thank you. Like, honestly, like, you honor me with that, because like I personally feel so in my head sometimes about going live, doing these lives, because the more consistent I've been, you guys, like, I'm getting so much hate like in a way that like I never have. And honestly, it's just like I'm getting like personal hate, right? I'm getting like a lot of DMs like, you demon, you fuck, a lot of bad shit, a lot of bad things, like, you're going hell. Ooh, it's fun, it's spicy, so spicy. But last time I checked, okay, I just have a couple things to say. Last time I checked, first of all, if God is real, the God that everybody's talking about that's gonna send me to hell, okay? If that God is real, first of all, only that God can judge my actions, okay? Second of all, pretty sure that God is the most merciful. Then moving on to my third point, which is they created paradise knowing it would be full of sinners. Every single human being sins. Do with that what you will. I'm gonna move on with that. If you subscribe to those ideologies, that's what I'm gonna leave with you. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, yes, how do you go, girl? I mean, yes, truly. But you never know what's gonna happen, because like I said, you know, like, I'm just like, why not just have an open mind, right? Like, how would I be a Draconic high priestess without an open mind? Because like, you guys were the ones who were like, you should look into this. And then right around the time of my Draconic Wicca, like completely leaving Wicca altogether, I kept some of like the principles, you know, like, and ye harm none, do what you will, is really important to me. And light of heart, soft of touch, speak you little, listen much is the one that really is huge for my life, especially as a white woman. I need to know that I must be soft when and the way that I mean by that is not like traditional femininity. I mean like, I must tread lightly around the people who are around me. I must be aware of how my actions can affect other people in an extremely negative way. Like, I have to understand that sometimes I am not a safe person to be around only because the color of my skin. Only because the color of my skin. That is not my fault. That is not my fault. But I understand that some people genuinely do not feel safe around white people. Valid. Some people do not feel safe around men. Valid. Okay? Like, white women are the men of women, and I understand. So that's why, like that line of the Wiccan read, like, do you hear my fucking, like, alarm chirping? It just started chirping. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, light of heart, faint of touch or soft of touch, speak you little, listen much. That's why it's very, very important in my practice. From the Wiccan read, that's how I interpret the Wiccan read. That's how my dragon guardians help me interpret the Wiccan read, right? And my dragon guardians, my dragons, are the ones that say, you are not a high priestess unless you champion the rights of a free Palestine, unless you champion the rights of a free Congo, unless you champion the rights of a free Haiti, of a free Sudan, of a free world. Everybody, land back. Like, literally, land fucking back. Like, that's what the dragon guardians tell me to do. And that's what brings me into my next point, because when I took Wicca out of it, as a Draconic Wiccan, and I just went into Draconic Witch, and I took the Wicca out of it, that's when things got really serious for me in my craft. That's when it went from fluffy bunny dragon magic to a left-handed path. You know what I mean? That's when I started learning how to do my shadow work. That's when I started having to understand that I might have been part of the problem. That's when I had to set myself on dragon fire and burn away the generational curses, the patterns that were not serving me anymore, the shitty standards that I have that were attracting horrible experiences to me. That fucking had to change. Like, I had to be so for real with myself. Like, how are you showing up? Are you showing up in a way that is helping people, or are you showing up in a way that's hurting people? That's what happened when I made the shift to the Draconic path. And not long after that, I started learning about Therans and otherkin. And I was like, what the heck? And that's like people who either psychologically feel like they are that of an animal or a mythical creature or otherwise, or it is they have the spirit of that. And I believe and know that I have the spirit of a hatchling dragon inside of a human body. That is my experience. I own that shit, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it. Like, talk about it in the comments, you know what I mean? Like, but like, at the end of the day, like, it has taken so long for me to own that identity, because a huge part of my practice has been dreaming that I was a dragon, and whenever I had nightmares, I literally would go right back to sleep and rip apart my dreams as a dragon, or set it on fire as a dragon, because no dream will ever have power over me. Do you understand me? Like, I used to be so crippled by some of the, like, PTSD type flashback nightmares that I would have. I would actually call them night terrors. Like, I would actually call them night terrors. Sometimes waking up fucking screaming because I'm reliving what I went through. And you know what I had to do to overcome that? I had to become the dragon and go back into it, face it head on, and light that shit on fire and be like, no, you have no power here. No power here. And I couldn't have done that if I wasn't a dragon kid, in my personal opinion, or if I didn't work with dragons the way that I do. And then as time went on, I ended up getting into really abusive relationships, and it really made me question my faith. It made me question, you know, what was important. I literally got so lost in addiction and self-harm, and it was really bad, you guys. Like, I have almost died many times. Like, I will talk about it one day, but like, this is part of the reason why I'm still here. In those moments that I almost, like, either overdosed or passed away, like, I literally, dragons, it is not your time to go. Get up, get up, get up. And I couldn't say no. I couldn't die. I wasn't allowed. And I saw it as a dragon. But when I shared these experiences, Some people might say that that was God. Some people might say that was Allah. Some people might say that was an angel. Some people might say that was my grandfather who passed away watching over me. Who knows? But for me, in my experience, it was a dragon. And if you ask somebody else who's had a near-death experience, it was probably through a lens that was comfortable to them. And that's why I realized walking the path of the dragon, after I realized that dragons are real, that dragons really are the real deal, and they're not demons, and they're not jinns, and they're not anything else. They're their own thing. Dragons are fucking dragons. And that's what I'm here to tell you, because I've spent 20 years almost dying and rebirthing myself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, until I couldn't even recognize who I was in the mirror anymore. Nobody could recognize who I was. People have so many different opinions about me just because they don't know me anymore. They're like, all you do is sit in your room. You're so fucking lazy. You don't work. You don't do that. What do you think I'm doing all the time? What do you think I'm actually doing up here in my room? Why do you think I'm locked in my room for years? Why do you think I have knots in my head because I can't get out of bed? Do you think that I'm just like in here stuffing my face full of shit and like, you know, like jerking off and like just doing, no, I am in here laying it all out on the floor. I'm spilling my guts on the floor to rearrange them in a way that is healthy. Because right now I'm fucked up, you know, in that point in time. I was like, right now I got the biggest stomach ache, I'm gonna die from it. Like, it was too much. It was too much. And like, the only thing that in those moments where I felt lost and I felt hopeless and I felt suicidal and I felt like I was gonna overdose, like, all I had were dragons. That was the only thing my spirit felt safe with. That's the only thing that gave me power, that made me feel powerful. That's the only thing that empowered me, was like praying and casting spells with my dragons. You know what I mean? And like, even in those times when I was like, no, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. My dragon guardians are like, we will be here until you do. And now my dragon guardians pray to God with me. Like, I talk about that all the time on this channel. You know what I mean? Like, why is that so weird? Why? Like, that blows my mind. Like, I don't understand how, like, when I tell people that, like, my dragon guardians pray to God with me in my circles, like, why is that so shocking to people? I don't get it. Like, why is that so weird to people? Like, why is that so unbelievable to people? Like, why is it so hard to believe that, like, I have a spirit team that, like, prays to God with me? And they're the ones who helped me get there. They're the ones who helped me, you know, find that, like, resonance, right? Does that make sense? You know, that's all I had, you know. So then moving forward through my abuse, I had to escape that really abusive relationship. And if it wasn't for the help of another ex that came back, which was just another fucking problem, which was just the next, you know, the next chapter of problems that I was about to deal with, and my dragons, I wouldn't have had the courage to leave the domestic violence I was being submitted to. I wouldn't be able to leave the sexual violence that I was being submitted to, without having the bravery from my dragons. Like, I couldn't find that anywhere else, okay? Like, you also have to understand that I have a lot of religious trauma from a child, and that absolutely damaged my relationship with God. And I think the worst thing you could fucking do to a person is tell them how they have to connect with God. Especially a child. Like, no, we are individual human beings. We are entitled to how we choose to connect with God, or if we choose not to connect with God. That is each individual human being's right to choose for themselves. Do you understand? Like, that way, watch, you know what? If you actually just let everybody do their own thing and stop trying to get in the way, what if we all just moved in our own way, where then, surprise, we're all the same religion? Like, who knows? We won't know anything. We don't know what we don't know until we know it, and we won't know anything until we change our behavior, you know? That's like the story of my life, you know? And then after I got out of that relationship, I ended up starting to date, like, my first love again. I got back together with him, and that was terrible. Like, he was a serial cheater, and, like, you know, like, I didn't know it at the time, but they were, like, transgender, and that's totally fine, but it's just like, we didn't know that. And so I didn't know how to treat them properly, and we had a lot of like problems in a relationship where it was like, this isn't making sense, this isn't working, and I didn't know why, and like they didn't know why, and like it was just a different time. And then there was just like a lot of abuse involved, like very neglected person from their family had a lot of fucked up shit with the medication they were used to be on. Like there was just so many variables that like I wouldn't have been able to leave that relationship if I didn't like sit with my dragon guardians and meditate if this is the guy I was supposed to marry. I wanted to marry that guy. I wanted to have that kid's babies. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to marry that man. Do you understand me? Like I wanted to have children with that man. Like I literally had names, literally had a life. Like it was literally what I wanted. And cheated on me, all of this, and then I was like, why did I expect anything less? The first time I was with this guy, he cheated on me, like, stupid. And it's like, I wouldn't have like stopped repeating like the patterns that like I was taught as a child through my family and the women around me. Like the way that the treatment they accepted from like the men in their lives is like what I was conditioned to believe as a child. And so the only ones who helped me break out of that were my dragon guardians, who were like, no, be a dragon, like literally. Like, you know, it's like, I'm not like what are you doing? You know, like, is this what you want for yourself? Like, do you want to stay like this, or do you want to make your dreams come true? Like that was kind of the deal, you know what I mean? And then if I didn't have that like switch in me to be like, you know what, no, I'm gonna be the most I'm gonna go dive head back into my music, I'm gonna go dive head back into my magic, and I'm gonna go dive head back into working with my dragon guardians. In that, you know, relationship with my other ex who cheated on me previously, like I wouldn't have reached a point where I was like, you know what, I'm no longer interested in being with you. Like he was my first love. I never thought I would ever be the one to be like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. Like we're done, you know what I mean? And I was like, you're a fucking coward. Like you're a fucking coward. Like I wish I said more, but like, you know, like I'm really glad that I kind of stood up for myself at the end of that relationship, because that really was cathartic and I needed that, you know. But I wouldn't have been able to stand up and speak my truth the way that I did if I did not have the power of my dragon guardians backing me up. And that's something that will never leave me. It doesn't matter what religion I explore, because my dragon guardians tell me I'm supposed to learn as many different, you know, religions and spiritualities and faiths as possible, so I can do my best, my absolute best, to make this channel and everything that I do a safe space for everybody to connect with each other. Like I'm so fucked off about people being like, that shit's demonic, that shit's blah blah blah. Even the people who work with demons aren't evil. Like relax. Like people are so indoctrinated in their brains and they're so conditioned to believe certain things before they've even encountered said things. It's just like, that's how people lose their lives. That's how people lose their jobs. That's how people literally get discriminated against and have hate crimes happen. Like it's really that serious. And like that, my dragon guardians tell me like I'm not allowed to be quiet anymore. Like I don't get to be depressed anymore. I don't get to be anxious anymore. I don't get to be like, oh, they left hate comments, oh my god, they're telling me I'm going. No, I don't get to fucking whine anymore. Like I just have to show up and be serious about that. That's all that matters. Everything else I don't take seriously. Like, because it's not that serious. We all die. Oh my gosh, like why is this so hard for people to understand? Like it's literally just logical. It's literally just logical. It's just logical. Bothers me. But then I met my now boyfriend, who is the absolute most incredible man I've ever known. And he came, like when we've been friends for a long time. We've been friends like for 7 years before we started like dating. But when we started to get more intimate, he was like, you know what? He was like, my whole life I've been told that witches are evil. He was like, but when I talk to you, you're like one of the sweetest like girls that I know. He was like, how are you evil if you're a witch? Or like if you're a witch, how can you be a good person? And so like that's how he started. He was the one who was curious about me, and he wanted to know about me and my practice. And I was like, you know what? Like, how do you believe in God? Like I was like, because he's like the kind of like guy who's like, God is love, you know what I mean? And I totally resonate with that. And I was in a space when I met him, I had so much trauma with God that I was like, fuck God. Like I don't even want to talk about that. Like I am not a godly woman, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a woman of God, like fuck that shit, you know what I mean? But he was like, no, like God is love. Like, and anytime like something pushes you away from love, it's pushing you away from God. And like I love dragons, and I find the face of God with my dragons, and the face of God will be different to everybody who needs God in the way that they need God. The way you have faith in God is the way God shows up for you. It literally says that in the Quran. Like, this is why my dragon guardians tell me to read these books. Like, I have to read these books. Like, but I'm told to approach, like, studying other religions and studying other spiritualities and faiths through the lens of a scholar. Like, it's like, this is academia. Like, this is like, I have to be professionally studying this. Like, this isn't like, oh my gosh, is this real? Like, I can't go in it with the lens of a conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? Like, I have to go in it with the, like, lens of, you know, just like, this is a thing people reference a lot. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why, you know? But yeah, so then when I found him, like, when I met my boyfriend, like, God really kind of came back into my life in a way that I never expected. And, like, when that happened, my guardians were like, see, you know, like, we never wanted you to lose your faith, you know? And, like, this is why, like, I resonate with dragons, and no matter what I believe in, I will always identify as a Draconic High Priestess because of this journey that I'm sharing with you guys. You know, this is my practice that has, like, I'm not a Draconic witch for shits and giggles. I'm not a Draconic witch because, like, I'm a Zora Dragonfeather and I have a YouTube channel. Like, I'm not a Draconic witch because I'm a white girl who wants followers. Like, I'm not a Draconic witch because, like, it's aesthetically pleasing or it's cool. Like, no, I'm a Draconic witch because it was the difference between my survival and my death. Many times over. It was the difference between me being empowered to escape deadly situations or not. It was a direct response to the oppressive systems that I grew up in. It was my act of rebellion, which is why it's so tied into my activism. Like, because of the life that I lived, I have such a fucking privileged little, like, frosting taste of like, oppression. Are you kidding me? Fucking pussy shit. The type of stuff that I have compared to the global stage, right? But I was initiated into that my whole life with my dragon guardians by my side because I had to go through it. It was perfectly written. Why? Because, and only because, had I not gone through that, I wouldn't be able to show up as who I am today, the Draconic High Priestess who gets it, who has the wisdom, who's done the work, who's broken the addictions, who's cut out the toxic family members, who's broken the generational curses, who's doing the work inside, who's not afraid to admit she's wrong sometimes, who's not afraid to be like, hey, you know what? With my full chest, I am a girl who follows dragons. Fucking sue me. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to tell you, you know, other than just show up and talk about it, because, like, I have felt my whole life so ostracized just for my passion and love for dragons and the way that I follow them with my life. Like, dragon medicine is tough love, and dragon medicine has been the only medicine that has helped cure my spirit, that has cured the ailments, the poisonings of my heart. You know, like, my heart was poisoned with, you know, anger. My heart was poisoned with jealousy. My heart was poisoned with envy. My heart was poisoned with lust. My heart was poisoned with addiction. My heart was poisoned with trauma. And the only thing that helped me shake it a little bit was doing the work to get a dragon heart, doing the work with my dragon guardians so they would bestow a dragon heart upon me. I had to earn that. I had to earn my dragon heart. I had to earn my dragon sight. I had to earn my dragon horns. I had to earn my dragon scales. I had to earn my dragon claws. I had to earn my dragon flight, my dragon wings. No, I'm not schizophrenic. You know, like, I literally will go and talk to healthcare professionals and I teach them about their profession. You know? So I digress. Like, the kind of work that I do, like, I'm very blessed now, but, like, that's why after I met this man and God came back into my life, my life was starting to open up in this beautiful way. I was gonna, like, I had this incredible life on the horizon, and then COVID hit us. And then out of nowhere, I was under lockdown for 2 years. My boyfriend, who was Canadian, was on the other side of the continent, a country away, and the borders were closed, and I couldn't see him for like 2 years. And so I was isolated in my room, and then I lost my kitten of 19 years, and I started losing family members to COVID or cancer or otherwise, and like then my whole world fell apart, and I was like, well, fuck all of this. Like, dragons aren't real, God's not real, like, I'm a fucking atheist maybe, or I just want to like unsubscribe from the Earth game, like, and that was my ultimate test. Could I face death? Could I face mass death and come out faithful? Could I face the loss, the grief of my best friend, my cat? Some people might think I'm ridiculous saying that, but the type of bond that I had with that animal, I will never have another relationship like that in my entire life. And when I lost Keisha, my challenge, could I grieve her? Could I grieve her in a way that made me faithful, that made me stronger, that made me more powerful, that made me understand my magic better? And then I had to face the fact that I was using nicotine. I started a nicotine addiction to cope with it. I was so depressed from all the trauma that I'd been through, all the loss that I had been through, all of the times that I had almost unalived or almost OD'd or almost just had freak accidents. Like, there was so, here's the list, okay? Like, go down it one by one, you know what I mean? Yay, another mod. I'm not alone anymore. Thank you, Rebel Child Witchery. Thank you so much for being, please leave a like on the live for the mods, because they literally do everything. So like, and then guess what? The best part, you guys, the best part was literally realizing that I was gonna have to quit the addictions. You know, I was gonna have to clean the room. I had to start from ground zero. It was like I was a baby all over again, and I had to learn how to wipe my ass. I had to learn how to brush my teeth, how to shower, how to brush my hair. I had to learn how to, you know, do my makeup again. Probably autistic skill regression, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I literally had to like learn how to do everything again. I had to do all the basics with my witchcraft all over again. It's like I literally relived my entire life, like in a few years. Like, I had to redo it, but in a way that I wanted to do it, because some of the pieces of the puzzle weren't fitting properly, and I was literally gonna have a conniption fit. Like, I was like actually doing so bad, you guys. I was not okay. I was not okay. Like, I'm very fortunate to be happy and to be healthy and to be whole again, you know, because I've never felt so calm and like, what's the word, stable. I've stabilized myself, and I had to address the addictions, the mental health issues. Like, I had to find out that I had autism. How was I gonna deal with the autism? How was I gonna deal with the PTSD? How was I gonna deal with the DID? How was I gonna deal with, you know, all of that trauma that I had just packed in my brain? Like, how did I deal with the egoism? Like, how did I deal with all of it? Like, I had to figure it out, and I had to rewire my brain. Then I had to study science. I had to study the nervous system. I had to study the body. The body keeps the score. I had to study different types of therapies, but no therapist was gonna work for me. Because as a healer, if you're a real fucking healer, your first challenge is to heal thyself. Heal thyself to heal thy world. That is my freaking motto, okay? Because that was the key to becoming a Draconic High Priestess. I had to heal thyself. I had to fix my brain. I had to fix my faith. I had to fix my family. I had to fix my heart. I had to fix my soul. I had to fix my body. I had to fix all of these things in order to earn that right. And I wouldn't have earned that right had I not done the work. You know, like, I could have just scrolled TikTok, or I could have just decided to like become a workaholic and lose myself in a side hustle and forget about the mental issues that I had. But I chose to spend quarantine rewiring my brain to become the best version of myself that I was always meant to be, and I couldn't have done that if I didn't put in the work during that time. And then around 2022, 2023 came around, like, my boyfriend was able to get a visa, and now he moved out here, and now I have the life I've always wanted. It was almost like that was the catalyst. Like, and I had to, darkest before dawn, I promise you, darkest before dawn. And when he came out here, then we had to go through some crazy roommate situations. You know what I mean? Like, some really infamous creators, unfortunately, we had the displeasure of roommating with for a while, and it was very traumatizing for me. And so then I had to learn how to have a practice all over again after all of that time, and then I had to reestablish that practice, that meditation, those rituals, the altars, like, and I'm rebuilding that now because I'm in a new space, right? And it was just very overwhelming because, like, you know, I had to get myself out of that room, my bedroom that I was rotting in my whole life. Like, I had to figure it out. And it's like, now I'm not there anymore. And I am so grateful because, like, I was going to die in that room. Like, I was going to die in that room. And the people around me who were supposed to be my caretakers, who were supposed to care about me, they did not know what to do. They did not care enough to get more involved. They did not do an intervention with me. My sister tried, like, bless her heart. Like, I literally, like, was not okay. Okay. Like, and it was the dragons. And no one can take that from me. Like, fuck anyone who tries. Like, because I will literally set you on fire, figuratively. YouTube, I'm not threatening anyone. I'm saying, like, I'll spit fire in the form of, like, fuck you, like, language, you know what I mean? Because, like, if people are gonna be so on my ass, like, Jesus is king, like, you should do this, you should do that, it's like, dude, let me have my own experience and just maybe tap in to see what happens. Like, people are so desperate to try and, like, get, you know, me to, like, understand this or understand that or blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, why don't you just hear about the dragons for once? I don't know. Different perspective. It doesn't all have to be about, like, all of that. Like, what if I just want to talk about dragons? Huh. What a concept. What a concept. Like, I don't know. And so after I did, you know, the addiction breaking, and I stopped the smoking, which was the ultimate catalyst for Pickle Chips, one of my main dragon guardians now, which is a celestial dragon that I work with. That was, like, the main catalyst. I wasn't gonna ever engage consciously with Pickle Chips if I didn't do the work to fix myself, if I didn't cut the people out who were shitty, if I didn't rewire my brain, if I didn't, you know, figure out what the generational trauma was and stop the patterns, if I didn't, you know, stop being a toxic piece of shit myself, if I didn't decolonize. That was a huge part that started in 2020. There's so many dragons that I work with that would not talk to me if I did not decolonize, and that is why I will always come on this channel, and I will always say, anyone who thinks that they're a high priestess, who thinks that they're an elder, who thinks that they're an ascended master in, like, any sort of spiritual realm, shaman, mystic, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, you are actually no such thing unless what you do is in service to the global community, to your community, to your family line, to your lineage. That is what matters. Like, I wouldn't have met the dragons that I work with today if I did not tap into my ancestry. Because some of those dragons I found through my ancestry. Why is that so hard of a concept? Like, have you heard of Ireland? We used to be a pagan place before Great Britain pretty much just, like, RAPE'd us. Dragons, yeah. You know? So, like, that's why it's all interconnected. Like, and that's why I say anyone can work with dragons. The only prerequisite is to protect what is precious, to face your own bullshit, to do the best you can to become who you are, and rewire your brain to evolve. Like, it's about evolution. It's about evolving the human consciousness. It's about Christ consciousness. It's about community. It's about unity. Like, it's about land back. It's about free Palestine. It's about free Congo. It's about free Sudan. It's about free Haiti, free Lebanon. You know, like, it's all of that. And if you think for a second that it's not, and you think I'm, like, blowing smoke up your ass, like, the dragons say just subscribe and watch. You know? So, I would like to offer you guys a perspective for when you are engaging with spiritual content creators to make sure they have a decolonized perspective. Otherwise, it will probably be harmful in some way, shape, or form. You know? And even still, I'm finding parts of my practice to this day, you know? But that's part of my journey. And which is why Pickle Chips or any of my dragon guardians won't tell me everything I need to change if it's like, you know, inherently racist. Why? Because that is my journey. I have to do that work. Do you understand? My dragons don't do that work. Half the times my dragons tell me fake shit because it's my job to figure it out. They set up the riddle. I have to decode it. That's how I gain access to the next level. And when you finish their puzzles, or you solve their puzzles, I should say, when you solve their puzzles, solve their riddles, you level up, you get another one. Do it again, you level up, you get another one. And if you do that enough times, you'll become a Draconic High Priestess. You'll become a Draconic High Priest. In whatever way that looks like for you and your guardians. And just because you're a dragon doesn't mean, just because you work with dragons, doesn't mean it's any less valid than someone who works with the law or someone who works with Jesus. I will die on that hill. Thank you. Because I have in previous lifetimes. Do you know how many people like me they have killed just because you cannot control a woman like me? And the fact of the matter is that when I speak my truth, people like what I have to say. And that scares people who want to control the narrative. That's why there's a war on women. Thank you, because we are inherent oracles of God. I don't care what anyone says in these comments. This is my space. This is the hatchling space. And you cannot, you know, like hate on or control this space. Like, go make your own channel. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of the internet. And one thing that I've learned is that we were all created perfect, just as we are. There is no need to try and be anything other than just as we are made. You know, the world has made us into something we're not. The world has made us into something that we wish we never had to become to keep ourselves safe. And the only reason why I'm here at this day, the only reason why I'm streaming to you live here, the only reason why I'm streaming to you live in a studio with giant crystals, 4 feet tall cathedrals with microphones in a studio, piano, literally a case with pyrite, literally all these crystals, like, and look, there's more over here too, you know, like, there's the other one with the dragon on it. And you know what? I would not have the life that I'm living currently if I did not fix my brain. Oop. If I did not fix my brain. You know, if I did not do the work and put in the effort and visualize the life that I wanted for myself. When I tell people I chose this reality, I did, you know? But I chose this reality because guess what? I have the privilege to do that. Why is that so hard to admit? Like, it's not that serious. Like, just talk about it. Like, just talk about it. No, breathe. I know. I have the privilege to create the reality that I want to do. Why can't we talk about that? I don't know. It's weird to me. You know? You know, it's really, 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 really strange in my opinion, you know? So once my life came to a head and I started like accomplishing breaking the addictions and rewiring my nervous system and, you know, getting into my industry now, because then I dipped off of YouTube in 2021, I think, sometime around there. And in that time, I was like, no, I want to be a musician. I want to be a pop star. Like, why can't I do this? Like, I don't have any more time. Like, if I want to be on that stage and sing my songs, like, it's now or never, bitch. And so, like, I had to be like, okay, how can I get involved in this industry? How can I, like, get on these red carpets? How can I get in the studio? How can I do this? How can I do that? How can I do this? How can I show up better? How can I photograph better? How can I network better? How can I work harder? How can I sign the next client? How can I, you know, like, work with better agencies? How can I find better management? Like, all of these things became my driving force, and it was my dragon guardians who were pointing me in the right direction. Like, I would not know where to go if my dragons weren't like, go this way, go that way, don't go there, avoid that person, you want to connect with this person. Like, that is all that I have in this life, is the compass of my dragon guardians. That's all I use, and I'm just here to tell you about my experience. That is the only thing that I'm responsible for. Me having this channel and doing the daily dose of dragon feather is a part of my practice. Do you understand? That's why my channel's a little bit different, I guess, to some people. Cause like, if I don't show up and be this like if I don't show up authentically as I'm supposed to, raw arcane energy, like my dragon guardian Pickle Chips tells me I'm supposed to, then Pickle Chips will stop working with me. Like, that's how it works. Like, I have to follow what the dragon guardians say if I want them to engage with me. And some dragons say you have to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, no. And so I don't work with those dragons. Which is why I say, like, not all dragons are good, but the ones I work with are the benevolent ones that are here to help us, that are here to evolve humanity for the betterment of all, you know? You can call me mad as a bucket of frogs, though, if that's easier. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. You know, I'm definitely cool with that. So then I had to learn about manifestation and how to create a space and create, like, opportunities and create a career out of thin air that I had really no prior understanding of. And the more that I focused on learning the laws of reality, and the more that I focused on quantum physics and alchemy, the more that I focused on nervous system regulation, which is now fundamentally everything I do in my practice as a spiritual person, as a faithful woman, as a religious person, if you want to call me that, you know, like, I do it to regulate my nervous system first, which is why my practice is going to be different than most people's, because that is the priority. That is the top. That is the top. Some people are like, no, my main priority is to worship God. That is amazing. Some people is like, no, my main priority is to get close to Jesus. That is amazing. For me, I've been through so much trauma. I've been through so much shit that I've almost literally, like, from. So I'm like, nervous system regulation. That is the number one. And so anything I do in my practice is going to be because it regulates me. Because going to church, the Mormon church, going to Catholic church, going to evangelical church, that did not regulate my nervous system. That dysregulated my nervous system, that traumatized me, and I still to this day have some bad nightmares. Do you know what I mean? But, oh, Rebel Child, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You don't have to be sorry. Thank you for popping in. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, so, like, I had to really focus on those things before my dragon guardians were like, okay, you're ready. You're ready. You're ready to initiate yourself into your Draconic High Priestesshood. You know? And then with them, I did what they told me to do in order to initiate myself into that practice. And that is personal for me that I'm not going to share. But I will share, like, a version of it that I work with my dragons to create just for the hatchlings. Because that is a huge part of my practice too. You know, like I said, the Draconic tradition is an oral tradition, originally at its roots, which is why I'm here to speak. Like, that is why my biggest blockage in my whole life was in my throat chakra, because I've had to go through some really dark shit, and I've had to survive some pretty hellish things, you know, and I'm not gonna diminish what I went through anymore. Like, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm going to, you know, recognize it for the achievement that it was, surviving, you know what I mean? And now I'm thriving, and I couldn't have done it without my dragons, and I'm here to share my story, and I'm not afraid to speak about it anymore, and I don't care who it makes angry. Like my dragon guardians say, it doesn't matter who you make uncomfortable. It doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter, you know, what haters you have. It doesn't matter how viral it might go in a wrong way. It doesn't matter if you get, you know, death threats, which it's starting to happen. But you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. And you want to know why? Because I'm supposed to speak my truth, and the whole world is trying to take that right away, to speak our truth, to be our truth, to be free. And it's like, last time I checked, I was born in America, the land of the fucking free. And that has been the biggest lie I have been sold my whole life. And that is why, right after nervous system deregulation, my next priority is decolonization. Because after that, it's protecting what's precious. And those three are the holy trinity of my work. I don't know about your holy trinity, but that's my holy trinity, you know? And everybody else can have their own holy trinity too if they want. But the problem is when you start to tell people, hey, you are wrong. Hey, you're going to hell because you believe this. That is abuse. That is abuse. Abusive. emotional abuse, spiritual, religious abuse. Abusers, don't say that shit. You know? It's one thing to share your perspective and be like, oh, this is why I believe this is the truth. But what do you think? Oh, this is what I believe is the truth. But what do you think? Oh, that's really cool. Oh, maybe you're right. Oh, maybe you're right. You know, maybe we're both right. Maybe we're both wrong. Who knows? Who knows? It's not that serious. We're on a rock in space. Brother, sister. Brother, sister, why are we so dramatic? I don't know. I'm exhausted most of the time from just the fuckery of it all. It's kind of a miracle that we're here these days. You know, I'm like, how? How did humans last? How did we get here? How did we get here? Sorry, I had to deal with a couple things. I'm back. Welcome back, Lunar Rainbow. I'm gonna catch up with this chat for a second. What about me? I've been watching you since I was young. Please don't forget me, Sarah. How do I say your name? Is it Apina? Or Apna? Oh no, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but welcome back to your Daily Dose of Dragonfeather. Do you see any experiences? Do you have any experiences with demons, demonesses? Like, oh yeah. I mean, my dragon guardians have been telling me to work with Lilith. That has been an extremely key point of my practice recently. Ever since that so I've had this like group of like dragon guardians that I had when I was younger and all growing up through the story that I told you guys earlier. With like Monte and the elemental dragon guardians, and then Rosie as well as another one of them, and there's a couple other ones that I never really talked about because that's what they wanted. But then when I, like around 2020, that's when all of my like really hardcore challenges started happening, and forcing me to like, basically my guardians were testing me, like this new team of like, arcane dragon guardians, I guess you will. They're just like more advanced types of magic that they're teaching me and present for in my life. Pickle Chips is one of them. That these dragon guardians were always going to be present in my life. Whether or not I was going to get to work with them on a conscious level or not was up to me and how I evolved in this lifetime. Yeah, Siri spoke to me, of course. I get emotionally dysregulated too. Yeah, exactly. That's been the hardest thing for me. And that's why, like, when people say, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and your practice, oh, you should believe this is right, oh, you should believe that is right, it's like, I actually don't really take that so seriously. Like, those kinds of comments I just kind of giggle at because, like, that's not the perspective that I approach my spiritual path in. Like, I am very aware that, like, oh, what if it's just all in my head? That's cool, but that doesn't mean that my experience is not real and that I'm not valid. Haha, last time I checked. You know what I mean? But, like, at the end of the day, like, my practice with dragons is no different than someone who is experiencing Jesus Christ as God, or someone who is experiencing Allah as God. Like, their experiences are just as valid as mine with dragons, and vice versa. Like, and that's just all I'm here to kind of, like, you know, let people know, is just like, it's not like a matter of who's right or who's wrong. It's just a matter of letting people be who they are. Like, it's really that simple. Like, last time I checked, that is the best deed we can do for each other, is let each other show up as we are, you know? And when people have, like so many people are, like, so deep and steeped in their own trauma for generations and generations and generations, some of these people are literally committing genocide, like, on global scales. Like, they're so dissonant, right? And, like, you know, like, we can talk about it all you want. Like, if you want to say, like, hey, maybe they deserve the death penalty, hey, maybe they deserve rehabilitation, hey, this, that, and the other. It's like, honestly, I'm not really qualified to talk about those things. I'm not a healthcare professional, and I am not a politician, but what I am is a Draconic High Priestess, and what I will tell you is that you can believe in dragons, and you can work with dragons no matter who you are. You know, like, you can be a Muslim witch, you can be a Christian witch, you can be a Jewish witch, and you can all work with dragons. Like, that is valid. Like, you can be whatever you want to be. And that's why we're made to explore this world. Like, we're supposed to come here to have fun and experience and have an adventure until our time is done, and pass along what we learn to the next. You know, like, life is simple. Humans make it complicated. Confucius. Thank you, Confucius. You know? So I've also reached this point in my life with, after all of the shit that I've seen and been through, like, I have no time to, like, not be, like, what's it called? I have no time to, like, worry about anybody else but me and, like, my team and my business and my work and my lover, like, my pet, you know, like, what else do I got besides the hatchlings that I gotta worry about? Nothing. You know, like, at the end of the day, like, the people who give me the hate, they're helping my algorithm. Thank you for your service. You know what I mean? So I just have to really tune in with what my dragon guardians want from me and what they tell me is the path and how they guide me, because guess what? I am no longer afraid. You know, like, I've died too many times to be afraid to die again. Like, that's really how it is. Like, I eat death for breakfast, bitch. Like, I don't care. Like, literally, watch me scroll on that shit and transmute that shit. Like, I'll literally do whatever I can. You know what I mean? Like, I can't leave this world with it being worse than when I got here. Because freedom for everyone in this lifetime. Or I'm not Azura Dragon Feather. Sound like a good bet? I think that's a great bet. You know what I mean? I think that's a great bet. You know? Freedom for all in this lifetime, or I'm not Azura Dragon Feather. I bet the whole world that. That is my bet for the whole world. You know what I mean? Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. So, I'm honestly, like, at this point where it's like, I'm not gonna be shy, and I don't want you to be shy to be who you are. And that's why my catch line, my slogan for this channel is, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky, little hatchlings. This is why we are the hatchling clan. We are all misfits who only fit together. And that is something that I find the most beauty in on this planet, with how vastly unique and talented, and, like, you guys have such deep and colorful personalities and so much wisdom. The lore of the hatchlings, of each individual hatchling, is just so intense. You all have so much lore, okay, that I'm just so fascinated by. And, like, it doesn't matter what religion you practice. It doesn't matter if you're a witch. It doesn't matter if you believe in dragons. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim. Like, I love all of you people. Like, I want all of you guys to subscribe. I want all of you guys to feel safe here. And inshallah you will. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to incorporate an understanding of as many different perspectives as I can, because my dragon guardians say I have to, or they will not work with me. That is my path. And, like, that is just, I'm being blunt, like, that is just my draconic path. You know, not everybody else works with dragons that way, and I have a hard time wrapping my brain around that, to be honest. Like, I have a hard time wrapping my brain around how some people work with dragons, because that's their experience with dragons, not mine. But every single, like, practitioner of dragon magic that I've come across that really truly connects with dragons and dragon medicine, all love to learn from each other. You know, all are connected through their guardians. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually one of my favorite parts of this world. Like, I can't, when people ask me why I'm here, I literally came to this planet for the religion, for the dragons, for the music. That is why I'm here. You know what I mean? For the magic, for the dragons, for the music. You know, that is my favorite part about being here. You know, so we're all geeky, cheeky, and freaky. You know what I mean? And a lot of you guys, you know, sometimes you're like, dang, I can't let the gang know I fuck with Azura Dragon Feather, because you might just really kind of confuse somebody. Or you might really just enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe next time you're around your homies, just be like, hey, you want to see this trash fire live? And subscribe. You know? Because, like, some people literally watch my channel from the perspective that this is fantasy. That blows me away, because that's not my life, right? My life is, this is my whole spiritual practice. Like, I'm working with dragons beyond the veil. Like, I'm working with spirits, you know, like, I'm connecting with ancestors and, you know, my past loved ones, and etc. But it's like, some people are like, popcorn, ooh, this is a good movie. Like, that's crazy. But that's why this planet's fun. This planet's fun. I need to go now. You are amazing and beautiful. Love you. Bye. Bye, starlings. So good to see you as always. I hope you're doing well. I need to grab some water, because this chat has been just a really, really good one, honestly. For those of you guys who are just jumping in, not sponsored, but Starfire water, I'm obsessed. It's really good. I'm a dragon like you too. We are a stubborn bunch, but we breathe fire. Like we fly in the skies. Yeah, dude, you know, it's like really important and special to like, when you're working with dragons, like when you're starting to work with dragons, like I wouldn't have been able to become a high priestess if I didn't earn my dragon heart, if I didn't earn my dragon horns, if I didn't earn my dragon scales, if I didn't earn my dragon fire, if I didn't earn my dragon claws, if I didn't earn my dragon breath, you know, if I didn't earn my dragon flight, if I didn't earn my dragon soul, spirit, if you will, you know, like, or essence is probably a better word. Like, I wouldn't have been able to take all of those parts of myself that I had earned and incorporated them into a practice where or into a ritual that my guardians gave me, where I was able to utilize all of the things that I had accomplished in my lifetime in a way that they showed me, like, hey, do this ritual and this is going to show you and remind you who you are, in the sense that it's going to require you to lean on all of the lessons and skills you've acquired through your path of the dragon. It was very, very beautiful. It was very, very beautiful. And, you know, like, I don't even have the words for that experience. And I hope that one day my dragon guardians can help me, you know, create like an example version of like just how maybe you guys can try if you want to work with dragons too. But let me catch up with this chat. How long have you been working with dragons? About 20 years, but technically my whole life, because I talk about how my my first memory, some of my earliest memories were playing with like my dragon guardians that like everyone around me called my imaginary friends, but consciously for 20 years. Sarah, what do you think of asking your dragons to use their fire to cleanse and remove blockages from our chakras? Absolutely. I mean, I personally don't use like the term chakra in my personal practice, but I will use like the term energy centers or energy field or aura. Like I'll consider them like like the heart's aura, or like, you know, like I'll say like third eye aura, right? But I honestly ask them to. It's a good thing to do. You need help? What's wrong? What's wrong, Luna Rainbow? When I was alone, my old place, you were the first thing I'd turn on in the morning with some incense that smelled like nature. For the first, I felt it because it's true that you're a blue dragon. I did feel your aura for the first time. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. I've like always been told, like when I was growing up, I get different, like people say my aura is much different now, but like when I was growing up most of my life, like everybody would say like you have like an indigo or like blue aura. Really interesting. How it takes courage to be open about this kind of, I know it takes courage to be open about this kind of stuff. I'm a witch and a psychic medium, and most of my family doesn't know about it. Yes, Stefani, same. Most of my family doesn't know about the true ins and outs of my practice. Some of them know I have a channel, but most of them are more interested in the fact of like, the fact that it's a successful channel. They're like, oh, you have 100K subscribers? That's so cool. You know, more than like, oh, you're a witch. Like, but some of my family members are weird about it, so we don't talk to those ones. When I saw my third eye, because it takes time to see the world with only two. Sarah, my twin has changed a lot since we met. What's going on? I'm scared. And that's part of the process, you know? You just gotta surrender to that kind of experience, Luna. I'm so sorry. Surrender, or you're gonna be ripped apart. Are you going to make more dragon self videos? I love learning about your dragonkin experience. Yes, Nichelle Johnson. That's a huge part of my practice now as a Draconic High Priestess, is engaging more with my dragonkin self, and I have done a couple live streams on the dragonkin stuff, but I will be doing like actual like videos about it and more streams on it. But like I want to make more short form content on it, because I really struggle to find content on Theorins and Otherkin no matter where I go, and I've only made Theorin and Otherkin content on like my regular YouTube uploads, so I just kind of want to like add some into the Theorin and Otherkin shorts too. Excuse me, like what's it called, with like TikTok as well, which by the way, if you click like the description of this video, I'm starting to post like daily, like I post sometimes like highlight clips from here on the live over there on my TikTok, but I'm doing like daily dragon medicine videos over there where I'm just like giving you daily messages about the dragon guardians or from my dragon guardians. I'll either do some channeled stuff or I'll show you guys some practices that I do, but basically every day you're gonna get some dragon medicine over on my TikTok that you that I might post here, that I might not post on my channel. It just depends, because like the algorithms are different, right? So if you're interested in that, you can go check out my TikTok for some more dragon medicine. And also if you're like interested in my music and like that more like media, like the celebrity marketing side of what I do, you can follow my Instagram. That's also in my description. But like, that's totally up to you. And if you want to, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am really back on the train of posting that kind of content, especially short form content to like my Instagram reels and to my, what's it called, my TikTok, because I just am really disturbed sometimes by some of the content on those topics I see on that platform, on those platforms. So I just kind of want to like make sure that I like can, you know, like maybe recreate some of the videos that I have here on the channel and more, you know. But I also want to post like more regular uploads about it too again. But there's just like a lot of things that are going in the works just with this channel now that I'm in the business to do. And so things are kind of like rolling out slowly over time, and like we've been doing the live streams for a while now, and we're like getting back into the short form content, so it's the daily like short form content. So it's really like, I'm just really excited, you guys. Like I've worked so hard to get to a place where I feel like I can, you know, be myself, where I feel like I can have a shot at my life again. Like I thought like I was never gonna make it to this age. I thought I wasn't gonna like, you know, like I thought I wasn't gonna make it past 21 or 22. Like I didn't think that that was gonna happen for me. Like I'm just really happy that I'm alive and I'm here and I'm stable, and I've never been, you know, like in a better position in my life to, you know, go after my dreams and help people like live better life along the way. Like it is my responsibility to use my privilege until I have no longer the privilege to do so. And one of my biggest goals in this lifetime is to try and encourage as many people who look like me to think like that, or some version of that that's closer to that than something else, because I'm just heartbroken. I'm heartbroken every day that I scroll through my phone and I see what's going on, and every day that I learn about some fucked up shit that has been happening historically or is still happening today, and I'm just like, oh my god, there's got to be a better way. Like, you know, like dragons are fun and all, but like that shit doesn't matter if like we're all dying. Like why is it so hard for us to just like take like a how do we fix this? But like we can, you know, like that's why I had to spend my whole, like my dragon guardians told me my whole life's work was to prepare me to show up as I am today, right now. Prepare me for the mission that I am right now, you know, because it's like you have to be so in tune with what you want for your life, what you want for your practice, what you want for your experience. And I've spent so much of my time denying what I want to experience, making myself smaller so other people can have a happy ending, so other people can have like comfort around me, so other people can benefit from my presence, or I feel like, you know, I have like, I'm not making anyone mad, or I'm not like gonna get in trouble or whatever. And it's just like, dragons aren't afraid to get in trouble. They are the trouble, you know? You know? So I will always be here to let you know what my guardians want me to share with you, because that is part of my practice. That's part of my life as a Zura dragon feather. That's part of my experience as being a Draconic high priestess. I'm meant to speak. It's an oral tradition, you know, which is honestly one thing that made me fall in love with Islam a little bit, is because I learned that Islam is originally an oral tradition, which is so beautiful. You know what I mean? So I think that it's really important to not forget the power that you have in your voice, and how you can literally create a channel and you can just show up and make videos and talk, and it can only be for you. You know, like I am literally living proof of it. I made YouTube videos about witchcraft, about magic, because I wanted to see if it was real. I grew up thinking that it wasn't real, and I was really sad and depressed about that. And guess what? Through learning about witchcraft, through learning about mythology, through, you know, decolonizing and learning about my roots, my heritage, as like my heritage to Welsh witches in my family and to Irish folklore in my family, like I never even, and Nordic, I have Nordic roots as well. My dad recently told me, and it's just like, you know what? Like with all of this like really, really colorful like pagan heritage that I have, like I'm not gonna deny that. Like that was literally taken from my ancestors. Part of my work is remembering it. Part of my work is remembering it and sharing it with people who want to hear. Those who have ears, let them hear. Those who have eyes, let them see me. Those who have ears, let them hear me. You know, like that's why I'm here. So you can hear me. Until I can't speak anymore. Death is coming for all of us, motherfuckers. Like I'm gonna get gone too, you know? And like I'm not gonna live my life being depressed in bed anymore. I'm not gonna live my life scrolling feeling hopeless about the world. I'm not gonna live my life, you know, making excuse after excuse after excuse. I'm not gonna live my life being stuck in addictions. I'm not gonna live my life partying until I die. Like I'm not gonna live my life being in abusive places if I can help it until I die. Like no, not for me. Like I have to make it better. That's part of my lifetime. That's part of my life journey. That's part of my purpose. Like it can't be like this. I won't allow it. I don't allow it. Like because I create life the way I want to. Like that is what I've learned from working with dragons, is that we create the worlds we want to, because at the end of the day, it's what's happening in here, the process you're having in here about what's around you is all that matters. That's all that interprets your reality. And you can choose to change that at any time. You know, and people do all the time. You'll see people like switch religions or change political stance or, you know, change their views about women's rights. Apparently that's a thing you can have an opinion on. Okay, fuck people for thinking they can have an opinion if women's rights should be a thing. They are valid, okay? Women's rights are human rights. Thank you. Next. Anyway, but that's my point, right? Like we're in a place where like people can believe that something is demonic when it's not. They just don't know what they're looking at and they're afraid. And so they'll say, ah, demons. Like relax. Relax. Please. You know? So, we'll take a little drink break. Cheers. Azura, your voice sent me to sleep when I used to hear you talk about all those things, and I read books because you told me to when you showed me how to make books. Oh my gosh, hell yeah, dude. I need to start. That's one thing I want to do as well. I want to make like more book tutorials. I'm like so obsessed. And I haven't made books in so long. Are you in a place where you can practice outside in nature, or are you confined to practicing inside? Also, I'm new to dragons. Just trying to get some insight to your religion. Salem, yeah. So I will go outside in the sense that like I'm pretty close to like Malibu. I go to Malibu a lot. I find a lot of dragon energy in Malibu. And I also have like some like, you know, naturey areas as well. Like my boyfriend and I are like recreating, because like the heat out here kind of like destroyed our like balcony garden a little bit, but we're like recreating that garden space to be like a place, like a natural space to connect with like fairy energies specifically on the garden, but also dragons, because like just from where the balcony is. And I'll also travel to nature spots as well, depending on the scenario, you know what I mean? I love doing magic in Lake Arrowhead, but it is kind of a trip when I go there. So it really just depends on the situation. And what else? I find that the best way to connect with my dragon guardians is to evolve myself and to get really serious and really honest with myself about how I'm kind of an asshole and like where I can be a better person. And when I started focusing on like that kind of language with myself, that's how I really realized that I was pretty much like totally indoctrinated with racism, and I had no idea. And I was like, oh yeah, like this is a thing. Yeah, everybody's a little racist. Yeah, for sure. So it's like an active practice, right? So then I had to be like, oh, okay, well, how else am I the asshole? Like a lot of my defense mechanisms from the trauma that I've been through, like, are very harmful in like healthy relationships. Like they kept me safe in abusive relationships and they were good there, but like now they're harmful in the spaces that I'm in, and that's been a real mind fuck for me. So like learning how to regulate my own nervous system, learning how to meet my own needs now that I'm out of a survival place, you know, I've really had to reparent myself because I was basically like a big crybaby, because like I just had so much neglect my whole life, you guys. Like it was really sad. And like, you know, I have a lot of mental illness because of it, but guess what? Like they won't even diagnose me, brother. Like it's like I've done too much of my own recovery. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can kind of say. Like my nervous system, like it's just different, man. Like sometimes I still experience like dorsal vagal collapse, and I still experience dysregulation, and I do still experience certain things like that. But I'm not in autistic burnout anymore, and that would not have happened. Like I would not have recovered from that if I didn't rewire my nervous system, rewire my brain, and really focus on where I had my faith. Where was my faith put in? Did I have more faith in my fear, or did I have more faith in my dragons? Did I have more faith in God? Did I have more faith in, you know, like fairies? Did I have more faith in my ancestors? You know, did I have more faith in that, or did I have more faith in my fear, in my anxieties, in my depression? Did I have more faith that my past would repeat itself, or did I have more faith in my future to be better? You know, that was the most important shift for me. OMG, I love this dress. Sorry if this is out of context. Just got here. You look like a goddess. Oh my gosh, Violet Maze, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. This is one of my favorite colors, and I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed. But we also have the Hello Kitty cup. I am obsessed. I got demonetized a little bit, so I have to do the drinky drink in a cup now. So woo, it's apple juice. Cheers. But anyway, I only judge by consciousness, and you get how hard it is for people who are dragonkin. Yes, dragonkin is really difficult in this world. But like, that's like, and it also makes me really sad that there's like, I haven't really been able to find like a really good solid place like for dragonkin and like Therans and stuff, which is why I've tried to create that space here on the YouTube channel and then in the Hatchling Clan Amino. And I think we do a pretty good job, you know, like I really just love how much we connect with all of you guys, like especially like in the Theran and other kin chat, because like it's so much fun learning about all of the different kin types, because I'm not like, I'm only dragon fae kin. Like I'm literally like, I don't understand like people who are other like who are like wolfkin, or who are like foxkin, or who are like, you know, just different than what I am. Even different dragonkin or different fairykin. Like I'm just like, whoa, like I like just different experience, you know? I love learning about that stuff. Like this is like what I find joy in on planet Earth, you know? Like sometimes it can be really hard to, you know, find hope or feel like a will to live, especially with like what feels like the world is on fire a little bit. But like, you also have to understand you have the power to tune in with where your focus goes, and where your focus goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, it grows. And so whatever you focus on is going to grow, and choose wisely, which is why I was like, you know what? After all of the years that I was gone off this channel, and after everything that I've been through, I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I want to come back. I want to focus on the hatchlings again. I want to focus on my music again. I want to focus on my witchcraft again. I want to focus on being dragonkin again. I want to focus on, you know, sharing my experience. I want to focus on like being creative and doing DIYs again, and like having fun and connecting and building a community, because guess what? I know how shitty it is to not have it anymore. Like, I didn't realize how much I missed you guys, how much I missed this channel, how much the hatchlings were a part of my life and soul, than when I took so many years not engaging with you guys because I had to do the work to show up properly. Like, I was not going to show up in a good way. It was going to be a very sad mental break. Like, it was literally going to be like watch a girl slowly slip into psychosis situation, because I was not okay, and I was starting to do too many drugs, and I had too many addictions, and too many, like, you know, weird beliefs, and like too many things that I wouldn't question. I just, it was a lot, you know. But like, now I'm here, and I'm always willing to grow and willing to change and willing to like question things, and that is what keeps me stable and grounded, you know. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna go like meditate under a tree because I know that there is scientific precedence for that being beneficial. Like, and the magic that I practice, one day, you watch, there will be proof of it. Like, I don't need to see it to believe it, but some people do, and one day there will be proof. And I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime. I have a feeling we will see it in my lifetime, but my only responsibility as a Draconic High Priestess now, after everything I've been through, is to show up and share in service of everybody who needs to hear it. Everybody who needs to hear it. Everybody who needs to see it. I'm only meant to pass it on, because that is the whole point of life on Earth. Like, especially when you look at intelligent species. Look at matriarchal intelligent species like elephants or orca. Surprise, humanity is supposed to be a matriarchal species as well, because we function very much like these animals biologically. So yeah, and they live a long time. The females lead the lineage, and they are the wise ones who have all the knowledge, who pass it on, so the species can survive. The species of elephants relies on the minds of the matriarchs who knows the way. You know, like, they are the oracle of the elephants. You know, like, this is what I'm just trying to give an example, right? But it's like, it's really not that serious. Like, that's why it's not up for debate in my comment section. And I was kind of like starting to get into it a little bit when I first started doing my live streams, because I know how popular that is, but that's not the type of creator that I am. It's just not. And like, I'm not somebody who's gonna like go live with somebody else and debate like, oh, what's real? Like, what are dragons really? Like, let me know in the comments. Like, that is just like not the kind of content I'm interested in creating. I'm interested in delivering the messages and the lessons and the crafts and practices that I've learned along the way that have helped me survive, because that's what it was for me. And some people are doing witchy content because it's aesthetically pleasing and it's fun to burn candles with crystals and all these sparkly things and an altar with these goddess statues. It's very gaudy, literally. So it's like, you know what? Some people are doing it like that. Some people are saying this, that, and the third about astrology just because they saw it a few TikToks ago, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna make this video, you know. And like, I don't do that shit. Like, I'm here to share what I learned. I'm here to share who I am. I'm here to share my experience, because that's what my life has been. You know, I almost didn't make it here, many times, and like, and the way that I honor my arrival in this here moment as who I am now is speaking my truth and sharing what I have to say and showing up as who I am and not being afraid. No matter how many religious haters I get, no matter how many times people tell me that I shouldn't be who I am, no matter how many times people tell me I'm going to hell, no matter how many times they say I am insane or I have spiritual psychosis, no matter how many times who says what, like, I'm showing up, sharing my truth, and I'm going to encourage you to be extremely critical about it when you hear what I have to say. Because this is my truth. It doesn't have to be yours, which is why you should be critical about it. Not me. I'm just here to talk. You know, that's it. You know, you can like it, you can it, or you can hate it, and that's up to you, you know? But that's why this world is fun. You know, when my dragon guardians tell me, they're like, we live in a time where human beings have never had the opportunity to discuss the parts of humanity and human life and human existence on a global stage. I'm able to talk to dragons, and I'm able to talk to you about dragons in real time, live, and I'm reaching people all over the world. That is unprecedented. And my dragon guardians are just like, that's why humans need to wake up and be excited, because it's never been a better time to be alive, which is why now more than ever I've trained my whole life to show up for you just as I am right here right now for today, to remind you that we have a focus, we have a purpose, we are the hatchlings, and we're here to help, like humanity, like and if you don't resonate, then you're not a hatchling. Like, if you don't resonate, heal thyself first. That is the journey. Heal thyself to heal thy world, you know? Like, I could only show up the way I am now because I healed myself, and I hope that what I've done to heal myself and offering what I've learned to you and showing what I've learned to you, that can help you do that for you, to where you don't need me anymore. You know, you don't have to rely on me. I'm not your fucking leader. What the hell is that shit? Like, worship Azura Dragon Feather, blah, blah, blah. No, I get some weird DMs, okay? I get some really weird DMs. And all I have to say is, like, relax. I'm a hatchling too. Like, I'm one of you guys. I'm one of you guys. Do you know what I mean? Spiritual psychosis is actually a new age term. It's not real. Thank you, Dragon Blindy? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to relearn how to say that. I know you told me yesterday, but I'm just like, But yes, thank you. I've even had some, like, people just in my DMs, like, recently saying, like, this looks like spiritual psychosis, like, please be careful, you know, like, and it's not just, like, it's, like, more than one people, you know? Azura is my favorite cult leader. Yeah, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know? I am not afraid to roar like a dragon at Christians that are hating on me, okay? I should just go roar at protesters, right? Azura, you can't go like this. It was hard for you in the past, but you remember that you were dragonkin. That lasted for time to stop with gravity and time capsule. Interesting. I don't really know if I understood that message. Also, if someone has psychosis in general, they can't armchair diagnose somebody that they have a parasocial relationship with. I don't mind how you pronounce it. Oh, okay, thank you. Let's hear a roar. well, I mean, like, I only want to roar at people who are, like, pieces of shit in person. It gives a certain feeling when you, like, roar at somebody who, like, thinks they're tough shit. It's fun. Anyway, also, do you know my dragon spirit guide, Avalon? I do not personally know them, no, but I have been told that the benevolent dragons, like, are all connected in their own unique way, not in the way that, like, humanity is, but we talked a little bit about it in the past stream. But so did you forget that I existed in another world with you because you didn't realize how special you were when you first begun to be yourself? That is when you truly started to live. That's healing. Huh? I mean, if you changed your username, then I probably forgot, but I do my best to remember people's usernames. You should write a book as your experience on being dragonkin. Yes, I currently am. Like, how you experienced it before your awakening and how you say it after and how it affected your day-to-day life. Yeah. No, I am. I'm working on multiple different kinds of books, in the dragon sense, because that is just, you know, what my dragon guardians have been telling me to do, and I've been writing these books for a long time. Like, there's a lot of them. There's multiple, but they're, like, all, like, kind of part of the same, I guess, collection, if you will. And it's just all about dragons. Like, whoa. It's just all about dragons, right? So it's pretty much just, like, the accumulation of my knowledge, because Pickle Chip says, like, in order for me to progress in my practice, like, especially as a Draconic High Priestess, like, I have to get all of the, like he says, I have to get all of the, like, assignments out of my head. He's like, the assignments are finished, you have to turn them in. That's really funny to me, actually. But yeah, so, like, I have to basically, like, get them out of my head on paper, or in, like, video format, because, like, otherwise there's just too much going on up here that I'm focused on, like, to, like, really, like, move forward, I guess. So at least that's how my brain works. I don't know if other people's brains work like that. But anyway, I never commented because I was shy. You can't ask why. You're shy? You were shy to comment? Why? I'm sorry. I'm really trying to understand the messages. Like, sometimes, like, I just have a hard time understanding the English language. Have you ever thought about working with other Draconic practitioners to write a book? I've learned some things on my path that I don't see others talking about when it comes to dragon magic. Nightmare Fuel Studios, that would be really interesting, actually. I've never considered that specifically, but I don't know. It just really depends on who, I guess, would be the collaborating people, because, like, Pickle Chips tells me to be careful about, like, just working with other, like, people in my craft. Like, I'm supposed to learn from people's practices and, like, share my experiences and listen to other people's and be curious about it, but, like, just, like, be cautious about working with other people and sharing my knowledge with other people, because it's like, at the end of the day, you really never know who somebody is, and my whole life has just kind of proven that, and I'm just not interested in, like, repeating that kind of thing. So that's why Pickle Chips tells me to be careful. Joining your live yesterday, and it inspired me to go through your older videos, and I was wondering if you still paint on face. Yes, I do. And what was your inspo for it? So yeah, it's funny that you actually asked that, because I actually was going to wear one of my crystals, one of my third eye crystals today, because my dragon guardians are the ones who told me to do that, to protect my mental health, to protect my anxiety, anxiety or, like, overthinking, and I would get, like, just really pick up on people's, like, energy and, like, misinterpret it in, like, a way that I would think people are, like, mad at me, or, like, I'm, like, not loved, or, like, I just would, like, misunderstand situations. So it was to help me focus my vision mostly on what really was happening in front of me, so I wouldn't have anxiety, and so I could, like, you know, speak my truth a little bit too. So that was my, it was really not, like, an inspiration, I guess you could say. It was genuinely, like, not an order, but just a recommendation from my dragons, like, from Monte, way back in the day. But there's that. Let's see. And then, oh yeah, that was my inspo for it. And then I do some of the, like, face lines, but I realized that some of the face paintings that I were doing were actually, like, some indigenous, like, markings as well. So I'm not, like, I, like, stopped because I, like, didn't know what was, like, the right thing to do, and so, like, I was just kind of, like, entered a mode of education, right? The crystals are fine, but, like, when I do my, like, ritual makeup now in my practice, it's much different. And I used to show up on my channel in my ritual makeup, and I probably will start doing that again, just because it's honestly fun and it's good practice. So there's that. Hollywood doesn't show demons, production does, actually. I don't know. I think they do and they don't sometimes. Azura, I have a question. What do you think about the demons in Hollywood? Like, what do you think their intentions are, if you believe in that stuff, I guess? Let me tell you something about demons in Hollywood. It's not, okay, because, like, I have a very close proximity to, like, this industry. I work in this industry. Literally, I work in Hollywood. In the Hollywood celebrity industry. And so it's kind of like, what I can say is, like, it's more of a power play than anything else. It's more of people who have a lot of trauma that's unprocessed, who have an insatiable desire for attention and fame and fortune, and there's just all of these, like, all of everybody's trying to do that out here, and it's all an illusion. Everybody's trying to create their illusion in a way that pops off the most, that you guys who are watching will engage with the most, you know. And sometimes a lot of people want to take advantage of children, so there's a lot of abuse, a lot of sexual abuse, and a lot of what people say is like demonic is mostly just sex being a currency. It's like really not. I don't like that shit. That shit's weird. And like, I've come across a few people who do business like that, and it's weird. I don't I can't name names, and I really can't talk about it any more than that, because I just really don't want to. That's not what my channel's about. But where it does intersect is where people start saying it's demonic, and the second that people start claiming things that they don't understand or that they know is very, like, criminal, I guess you could say, they would consider it demonic. And I would like to offer the perspective, please consider it just criminal activity in Hollywood before you consider it demonic activity in Hollywood, because, like, I work with demons, okay? There's some people, I know there's some people who are survivors of very dark rituals, right? Very dark rituals, but again, you have to understand the point of these rituals is power, is to gain power through, like, death and blood magic, right? Like, it's very dark, right? And you would consider that demonic, right? But you have to understand, people who practice things like that are literally criminals. You know what I mean? Like, when they're taking away life, like human life, or they're abusing human life, or any life, in my opinion. I know there's kind of a weird overlap with some practices using animal sacrifices, so that's a gray area, but I'm talking about human sacrifices as an absolute violation, okay? That's fucking not okay. And people are survivors of this, okay? So I have space for that, but I need you guys to understand that most people who are, you would consider demonic, are probably predators who exchange sex for money, who belong behind bars. And I really hope that that doesn't get me in trouble. I don't work with anyone like that. And if I get any sort of vibe that things might be like that anytime in this industry, I do my best to poof disappear, because that shit scares the hell out of me. I am a survivor of sexual abuse, and I am in a monogamous relationship, and, like, that shit scares the both of us, and, like, we're just like, no thanks, like no, like, very, very much in love with my boyfriend, and I don't, you know, I'm not interested in exploring outside of that. Like, I've worked really hard to build trust, you know, and, like, this is my life, you know, like, and that's the way it is, you know. So the industry's changing though. So I'm talking about, like, old Hollywood, right? Like, but, like, new Hollywood is, like, right now oversaturated with influencers trying to cosplay celebrities, which is frustrating. But, like, moving into an AI market, we're moving into an AI economy, and that's where authenticity and activism is going to shine the most. So that's kind of the transition we're at, and then you're going to see all the people's, like shadow, like, we're just in, like, especially if you look into astrology, like, we're in, like, a time of, like, the truth being revealed, you know. And while that truth is being revealed, all of the lies that were used to cover up the truth will be revealed as well, because those lies are part of the truth as well, if you look at it through the lens of law of paradox, right? Like, the lies confirm what is the truth, right? And the truth is what confirms the lies. So they are part of each other and necessary, right? You can't have a truth without a lie. It's kind of a dragon thing that I've been taught. So I hope that can kind of answer your questions a little bit about that. Azura has a heart of gold blessed by amethyst. Oh, that's the sweetest thing someone's ever said about me. Oh my gosh. You're gonna make me cry. I can't. Okay, I can't. Makeup's actually really cute. I can't cry. Okay. Okay, there are some demons that are great for beginners, like Lucifer, Stolas. Then there are people that are flat out disrespectful to demons and only get into it because it's cool. Yes, Dragon, I completely agree. Chicken nuggies. Let's just say that witchcraft does not belong in conspiracy theories. Yes, yes, please don't ever include religion in your conspiracy theories, because that is how people actually die and lose their lives. That is how we have a lot of the anti-Semitic justification. A lot of these like conspiracy theories, like, oh, Jews hoard all the money, like, I know that is that word a slur? Should I not say it like that? Anyway, I was like trying to quote like what I've like heard as like a racial stereotype, but that also just Judaism doesn't belong in your conspiracy theories, is my whole point. In the same way that like witchcraft doesn't belong in your conspiracy theories. The same way that honestly dragons don't belong in your conspiracy theories either. Like demons don't belong in your conspiracy theories, angels don't belong in your conspiracy theories. I'm sorry, like this might be a hot fucking take, but it's true. Like if you have any sort of like spiritual religious like lens in your conspiracy theory, I'm going to tell you something right now. You might be a little racist. Okay. Pickle Chips said it, not me. Pickle Chips made me say it. Womp, womp, in the chat, womp, womp, where you at, womp, womp, in the chat, womp, womp, where you at, say the womp, womp, in the chat. Welcome back, Toga, good to see you. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Okay. I'm kind of scared to work with demons, even if they can help. I don't know where to search these topics to know more and how to be safe. Chicken nuggies? I honestly would probably, like, I would just try and look in every single place that you can. I would try and look, you know, in the historical sense, like, look at the, like, historical context of demons, which I think you'll find that they're actually called daemons, if I'm correct. You know, like I work with demons in the sense of, like, through a draconic lens, so, like, my practice with demons is just not like true demonic, like a true demonic practice, if that makes sense. So there's that. Because like there is like overlap, right? Like demons are their own things and dragons are their own things, but there's like demonic dragons, like, and like that's why like my dragon guardian Pickle Chips told me to study just study Lilith and start working with Lilith, because she is the mother of demons, but she also has a draconic form. So there's like some overlap is like what I'm trying to say, but yeah. I have to go. I have to sleep, but I have to go to a castle tomorrow night. Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. I want to go to castle tomorrow. Yeah, I'll save that work for when I'm more learned in this topic. Yeah, dude. I would say like why would you want to work with demons? Like what would be the point of it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to work with them in like a witchcraft sense? Do you want to work with them in like a medium way? Like, do you want to work with them and like you do divination with them perhaps? Like, and what would be the purpose of that? Like, do you want to work with demons for your own personal gain? Like, do you want to work with demons to help you recover from trauma? Do you want to work with demons to help the world around you? Do you want to work with demons to get power? Like, these are questions to ask yourself. Do you know what I mean? And then go from there and start from the basics, you know? I'm not the person who really should be telling you how to work with demons, just because like that's not my expertise, my area of expertise, but I will tell you that demon dragons are cool, or demonic dragons are cool, however you want to say that. I'm pretty sure that Lucifer also has a draconic form. Yes, dragon, you're absolutely right. Pickle Chips urges me to work with Lucifer. I find it a weird gray area for me, because to my understanding, Lucifer is like the first fallen angel, so not technically a god in the sense that like Osiris is, or like Cernunnos is. But like I just don't really like working with like I guess, male deities in my practice if I can avoid it, if that makes sense. It just doesn't resonate and dysregulates my nervous system sometimes. So, just really end up getting kicked back to dragons, if that makes sense. On a different note, I'm so happy you're alive again, Azura. Even when I was a baby witch, you were the start of my journey, and thanks, Dragon Blanche, for the insight as well. Yes, yes, that's so crazy, Chicken Nuggies. I am honored. It's honor and a privilege to be able to, you know, provide the dragons, provide an insight to the dragons, or just like a channel for the dragons here. But I love them so much, you know, and I just want to share that passion with everybody else. And when oh my gosh, have you guys seen that TikTok where she goes, it's like this girl who's like taking apart her technology while she's watching something, and she has these like bug-eye glasses on, and she's like, what flavor of autism did you get? I got the flavor where I take apart my technology. And then she's like, and I hate that light. It's the like one of my favorite videos on TikTok. But like, and I honestly, after this live, I'm gonna go stitch that video and talk about like my flavor of autism is literally dragons. Okay, like the flavor of autism I got is like the special interest of dragons and all things dragons, and like not just dragon like witchcraft, not just like dragon mythology, but like dragon video games, dragon movies, like dragon stories, and dragon like folklore, and like just all of it, my friends, all of it. The idea of Lucifer being a fallen angel is false information spread by the church. Okay, then what exactly is Lucifer? A demon? Like, is he like daddy demon, or like what's up? I don't know. I'm kind of like have a hard time kind of trying to understand, I guess, how to like view Lucifer. How would you go about working with the deity if you've been feeling drawn to them? As a dragon, if high priest, how would you go about working with deities? I would learn about them as much as I could. I would learn about where they originate from, study their mythology, learn, try and find maybe other creators who might talk about them, and like double check their resources, you know, like try and find books on them with historical relevance if possible, or like what's the word, scholarly relevance if possible. That's at least where Pickle Chips tells me to go when I work with like goddesses in my practice, because goddesses really aren't like aren't like the top of my practice, right? And I work with goddesses differently than most people do, right? But I'm just like doing it based off of what like my dragon guardians tell me to do. Let's see. For instance, the whole Adam and Lilith thing. It was in the Bible, but it was written as fan fiction. Lilith existed before the Bible. Lilith existed in the Jewish teachings. That's where we get Lilith from. My special interests would be anything fantasy and horror, so unicorns, dragons, demons, and angels. Oh, yeah, same. Dragon, you and me are same. Lucifer is the male personification of Venus. Interesting. The idea of him being the devil is a translation error from translating the Bible from Latin. Lucifer means morning star. I knew that. Oh, aka Venus. Okay. Oh, okay. So then that would mean that Lucifer kind of is a god of the, what pantheon would that be? I'm confused. Azura's understanding and is level-headed. That's why she always feels emotionally dysregulated. I don't always feel emotionally dysregulated. What the fuck are you saying? In the Bible, all demons are fallen angels, so from the Bible perspective, you could call them that. Oh, okay. So then that would make sense why it ties into like indoctrination then. Lucifer comes from the Roman pantheon. Okay. That makes more sense. Well said, because he is associated with Venus. He is great with glamour magic. Okay, all right. See, this is why. Okay, I learned so much from you guys. You guys are so, your guys' lore is so deep. This is what I mean when I say that, because like, I wouldn't have like known that like that fast like that if you like were watching my live and didn't drop a comment. Like, I learned so much from you guys. It literally blows me away, and which is why I say like this is like we're hanging out, bestie. Like my lives are like different, I guess, than like other people's lives, because sometimes I watch lives to be like entertained, or like sometimes I watch people's lives because I really love their ASMR wood soup. For some reason it puts me to sleep, you know. Or sometimes I watch people like live debate things. It entertains me, not for me to create content. I don't want to create content like that, but like I'm saying that like for for like the lives that I watch, or like the live streams that I watch, you know. And then sometimes I like watching people like live stream video games. Like I like watching people live like speedrun games or something like that, or like try and play like impossible levels or something like that, because I can't play that shit and I don't have the time to try and get good enough, so I'm gonna watch them because it's entertaining, right? So, or sometimes I'll literally like watch people live stream movies on TikTok. They'll literally like live stream like Avatar The Last Airbender. I'm just like here watching episodes with like so many people, and it just gives me so much joy. I don't know how that works on TikTok, but trust me, I love it. Please don't take away my live stream movies. But for my live streams, I'm here to hang out with you guys. I'm here to like learn and exchange knowledge and, you know, just hang out, because most of the time I have so much I want to talk about, and when I try to talk about it with people in my real life, like they just don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and they don't care what I'm talking about, or they're not interested in the way that I am. So I have to go to my people. My people. I need my people to understand me, to like listen to what I have to say about the dragons. And I need you guys to tell me about like your practices and like your love for the dragons and all of this, and it's the missing puzzle piece to my life. It really is. It's 100% the missing puzzle piece to my life. Because you guys are just like family a little bit in that way, you know? I'm your people. Exactly. Exactly. Hi, I wanted to ask, would you or anybody here have advice on becoming in touch with your intentions again? Like able to focus on magical habits? Yeah, go back to the basics, you know? And you have to do certain things in life already, right? So you have to shower, you have to brush your teeth, you have to cook food, or at least you have to eat the food, right? You have to, you know, go to bed, you have to wake up, you might have to drive. Like there's certain things that you have to do in your life, and starting by already doing the things that you do in your life and just like adding a little bit of a magical twist there, or like adding intentions there. So like say for example, while you're in the shower, instead of it just being a plain mundane shower, like while you're in the shower, like sing songs to yourself of intentions or affirmations. Tell yourself affirmations while you're washing your hair, like cleansing the energy. Visualize all the negative thoughts falling out of your head, you know, like all of it being, you know, rinsed down the drain. Like adding, just like making it sacred, and every single second that you can is where you should start if you're a little overwhelmed, you know. We be the Dragon Kingdom, Alfred Cordova. That's so cute. I love it. Do love spells always end bad? No, they do not. Azura, you were the basics for my practice when I got lost. I watch your old videos. Dude, that's so funny. I watch my old videos too. I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck was I talking about back in the day? I've been making videos for so long. It's so crazy. I can't even believe it sometimes. Does anyone know anything about Hecate? She's the deity I felt drawn to, and it's like she's trying to help me, but I don't know with what, because I need help with a lot. Yeah, dude, I literally love working with Hecate. For a very quick minute, I was working with like an open coven. I was like living with like in this like castle with this like leader who had like these open like coven circles for like local pagans and witches to join, and she was a devotee of Hecate. And so in my time with her, in that space and in those rituals, I did a lot of Hecate worship. I wouldn't say worship, I guess. I did a lot of like rituals with Hecate, and like connected a lot with Hecate and like her magic and stuff, because that's just like the expertise of the witches that I was around at the time. And I remember doing so many crossroads spells, especially for spirits of past loved ones. I remember we did like a ritual for the shooting that was at the synagogue that one year, and like we did like a crossroads offering and stuff like that. Like that's honestly where my practice, that was where the seed was planted for like my activism really happened, was in my time with her. Renee, I love Renee. Shout out to Renee. She's my witchy mama. And she really taught me, like, I guess all that I knew. She was like one of the only elders I ever really had in witchcraft. And my time with her was very, very short and periodic, and I'm gonna see if I could reconnect with her and perhaps even get her on the channel, because that would be mad. That would be mad cool. But yeah, she's really cool. She like used to go on tour with like the Evil Dead and shit, like crazy shit. She was crazy, like she wild witchy woman. Like I don't know if I'll ever meet another woman like her. But she was basically the one who showed me like her altar. She showed me some of her altars to Hecate, and like she had like so many just like witchy spaces that, you know, we had like ceremonies in and did rituals with Hecate. It was really, really fun. You gave Hecate energy. Well, I'm not surprised, because I was very influenced by the triple moon, like the triple aspect to Hecate, like the maiden mother crone type of thing. That was a huge part of my practice as a young witchling, if you will, because I really felt that severed connection with like the matriarchy within my family. The women were very disconnected in the family to like support like the men in the family, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. And so it was just kind of made me feel sad. A lot of it had to do with like most of them just taking care of children, and like that. I do have an aunt who like is child free, but she's like, you know, she's just like has a different experience because of her life path. And it's not like, you know, it's not really my story to share, but like there's just like that part was like really healed when I found Hecate, because it was almost like I was able to connect with like, you know, like a mother figure and like a grandmother figure, and also like a sister figure, if that makes sense. So it was really, really, it really made a huge difference for me. Thank you guys for the tips and info. I'll try to search on YouTube more. Hell yeah. You can find a bunch of info on almost any deity on YouTube. Yeah, it's so true. But yeah, dude, I'm just really happy to be where I am today, and like that's why I felt really called to jump on here on the live today and share with you about like just my journey to becoming a Draconic High Priestess, because like, yeah, I've been a Draconic Witch for so many years, but like, you know, I've only very recently become a Draconic High Priestess. This is very new, and I feel like a novice all over again, but it's because now I have the proper guidance from my guardians, and I'm going in the right direction because I'm being led by a new team of guardians. And like the stakes have never been higher in my practice, and I'm extremely excited, because that's why every single time I have faith in my dragons now, despite all the odds, despite all the distractions, despite what anything or anyone tries to make me think otherwise, when I still choose every single second of my day to be like, no, I have faith in the dragons, I have faith in my guardians, and I will follow them, and they will keep me safe, and no one can take that from me. Every single time I choose that instead, like I grow and I level up, and I gain access to more and more perspectives and types of magic and types of dragons. And it's like, I hope that like I can keep going for as long as I can, you know, like I do, because it's been the most rewarding work of my life. And like that's why now, like all I basically like, I don't really like want anything anymore. Like and that's kind of like why I feel like I've reached the level in my practice to call myself a Draconic High Priestess, because I don't really want anything. I just want to share my experience now for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. And one day when my time here is done, like it was fun. It was fun being Azura Dragonfeather, favorite lifetime, 100%. And I just hope that I can make the best of it, you know, with the opportunity that I have, especially as a woman, especially as a witch. And especially as someone who believes in dragons, there's never been a safer time for me to do that. Despite what you might think that this is a dangerous time to be alive, but it's actually, like, for me, with the privilege that I have, like, it's actually easy for me to come on this app and talk about what I want to talk about, and you can't do anything about it, and most people can't do anything about it, and I'll make money from it, and then I'll invest it back into the channel to make it do better, and like I will help like the community grow, and then like that, and it like all like, you know, like it's a snowball effect, right? And that's all that I want now, you know, like after everything that I've been through, it's like now I just want to talk, now I just want to share, because I almost lost my ability to, I almost lost my opportunity to show up. That's why showing up every single day is proof that magic is real. That's why my dragon guardians say, Azura, go live every 24 hours for the daily dose of dragon feather, because the fact alone is that you made it. You made it because magic made you. And now you need to share that magic is real, because that was the whole point of your channel to begin with, and you prove that magic is real every time you show up, because your life was saved by magic. And no one can take that away from you. Some people's lives were saved by God. Some people's lives were saved by, you know, like Jesus or Allah, and like that's beautiful. I love hearing those stories, but like I was saved by dragons, and I want to share this, you know, like, and that's why I have my channel. Hello, Sophia. OMG, I love your outfit. It's so good to see you. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. Basically the same being. Has anyone else heard of this? Oh, why didn't you upload any videos for a long time? Mystery Forest. It's because I was going through I've had a lot of like traumatic experiences. I had a lot of loss in my life, and I was also really deep in a few addictions that I have recovered from, thankfully. And so yeah, like that's why I was gone, you know. And now that I'm back, I'm kind of here to like share my experience of how I like recovered through that with relying on my dragons. That's kind of the only thing that, you know, got me through it. And so that's why I wasn't uploading for so long, but now I am, and I will eventually post like official uploads too. And we're doing the shorts now, but we've been doing the live streams as close to every single day as I can get for quite a while now. How do you know that you're talking to your dragon guardians and not to something else? I did your channeling breathing thing, and something told me that I shouldn't trust that entity I was talking to. Let me tell you something. When you work in this kind of work that I do, it's not for everybody. You're not supposed to practice this if you cannot have faith or trust within your interpretation of reality, and if you don't have like the faith to deal with the unknown. It's why it's called a left-handed path, because like I literally like stick my face into darkness for breakfast. Like that's what I do, because the only way I'm gonna find hidden gems of light is if I go into the depths of the darkness to collect them. It's like scuba diving for pearls, right? Like I'm not gonna find the pearls unless I, you know, brave the cold deep depths of the ocean in order to find them. And it's the same situation here, right? Like you have to approach it like a dragon. Like you have to literally be like, no, I'm gonna define my reality today. I don't care what any voice tells me, because sometimes the voices that you hear are the conditioning that you've been through. Like a lot of the voices that I was hearing, like when I was like not doing well mentally, was the voices from like my religious leaders as a kid, who conditioned me to feel like I was wrong for wanting a goddess, or like a divine, like literally a divine feminine like deity. Like that was a pain point for me in the church. I was like what's happening, you know what I mean? And so you have to define what your reality is for you, and you have to be like, no matter what you say, no matter what anyone says to me or otherwise, like this is what I do, this is my life. And taking precautions, like magical precautions to protect yourself, for example, like, you know, creating wards, or creating, you know, shields, or creating or casting circles, you know, before you work with the type of, you know, creature, for example, that's funny, type of spirit, for example, you know, like say I want to connect with my grandpa who's passed, like I'll cast a circle so only he can come through. And that's how I have faith. you know, like otherwise, like many times I didn't have faith. And then when I did my practices, like I did have things that went wrong. Like I have shared a couple of like my stories where like my practice kind of like didn't go the right way as expected, or like I had spells that went bad, you know. How did you decide to start working with dragons and doing draconic witchcraft, Sophia? I mean, I've been working with dragons ever since I could remember as a little kid, you know, like some of my earliest memories were literally like at the park, or like in the pool, or like at the beach, or like with my friends, or like in the forest pretending I was a dragon, or like running on all fours through my house like pretending I was a dragon, playing with my other like dragons throughout the house. And my parents said like, oh, she has such an overactive imagination, she's playing with her imaginary friends. Dragon guardians. So that's how I started working with them. And then consciously, I started working with dragons on the draconic path because a hatchling recommended it to me, funny enough. I used to be really like Wiccan on this channel. Like that's kind of like where my like practice first started, when I was like, is magic real, when I first started this channel. But over time, I just, because like my name has always been Dragon Feather on the channel, right? And so they're like, oh, do you love dragons? Like, and eventually one of them was just like, oh, have you seen the draconic path? Like it was actually really crazy. How long ago did this live start? Pray! Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. I don't know. How long is 164 minutes? I don't know how long that is. So, OMG those days. Yeah, honestly. I'm Dragon Ken just like you, Azura. That's amazing. I love having Kens and like all kin types here on the channel. I love learning about you guys. What is a really good protection spell for yourself? Ooh, do the, what's it called? It's called the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. If you really want to feel safe and secure in what you're practicing, just cast that shit. What's up, Patchlings? Yeah, dude. Remember, it's time for your daily dose of Dragon Feather. That's why I call this like live stream thing like the daily dose of Dragon Feather, because it's like a callback to that. And just you watch, once I get like an actual like professional streaming setup, because like that's where we're headed. That's like, trust me, that's where we're headed. We're gonna have like, I'm gonna be able to punch that shit in. Okay, we're gonna have the daily dose of Dragon Feather jingle in the beginning. All of them. I hate mosquitoes. I have pimples all over my feet, bro. No, Sophia, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of mosquitoes. They scared me so much. I feel like I'm sorry, but mosquitoes don't have a reason to be alive. They don't deserve to exist. When I cast a circle, I use a personalized variation of the Dragon Flame ritual. Occasionally, I'll use the hammer right when working with Thor. Oh, Nightmare Fuel Studios, I love that. See, I love learning about you guys who work with gods and goddesses, because that's like, you know, not the focus of my practice. I miss that intro, Alien Noodle. When I'll make sure, like, I don't have a lot of time to do that on like the shorts part of this, right? You only have like 60 seconds on YouTube to do the shorts. But like when I do like the regular uploads, I'll make sure we have the daily dose of Dragon Feather jingle in again, because it's necessary, but it will definitely be here. How you seen dragons? I guess the best way I would say is like, you see them with your third eye, right? It's like a psychic sense, right? So I see either them that way, or I'll see them in my dreams, but like I mostly see them in my dreams. That's probably how I should have answered that question. Everyone comes from the same spell of life. It's called math, which is why Azura said math twice. Dude, I love math. Math is like so awesome. Like literally sacred geometry is math. Like this on my arm, the pentacle, like math, okay? Just so you know, like I love math. Or via lucid dreaming, or with magical substances. I agree. You can definitely, if you really want to see like dragons in the way that like you literally see dragons, like trip on acid, okay? Like hallucinate on like mushrooms and DMT. Like if you really want to meet like mythical creatures like as they look, drugs. Don't do drugs, kids, okay? Like I need you to understand that like this is why I'm like so adamant about people being very respectful with the earth medicine they use, because like they do have like indigenous roots, and some indigenous roots tie to spirits of the land and communicating with spirits of the land. And a lot of those spirits of the land can sometimes be fairies or dragons or mythical creatures. Sometimes they're different, you know, sometimes they can be other things. But that is what I have to say. Almost 3 hours of live stream, basically. Oh my gosh. I thank you for doing the maths. Quick maths. I love the maths. I really do. It's a very big dose. Yeah, it is. It's mostly just because I have like I'm able to stream in the studio. I'm really enjoying, because like I'm in the recording studio today, and I haven't like been able to stream in like the recording studio since we like, you know, we got a couch in here and stuff, but it's really, really fun. For me, honestly, I just usually learn about what I want to learn, and I do meditation, then pretty much everything is fine. Gotta be careful with creatures though, because trickster are not what I expect. Trickster energy is really just another type of lesson. It's just another like way for you to develop faith within yourself, which is why once you like really develop faith within yourself and within your craft and within like the way that you engage with reality and are like unshakable with that, like that's kind of when you become the trickster. I'm not gonna lie. So I hope that might be some kind of interesting things. Can those magic heal some kind of pain? Absolutely. It's rather curious, you know. I'm not gonna claim anything too crazy, but what I will say is that like it might be a hot take, but like my mental health would not be as good as it was if my dragon guardians weren't pointing me in the right direction or telling me what I should or should not be researching or like studying, or like I would do meditations with them, and like they would be like give me visuals of like practices that I should do, or like things I should create, or like, you know, things that I should just do to help me, right? I recognize tricksters easily, lol. That's awesome, Sophia. But yeah. When you start regular uploads, can you make a video on incorporating witchcraft into your daily life when you're low on energy? All I can say is for the regular uploads is like when I come back with that, it's just going to be something that you've never seen before, which is a part of the reason why I'm doing these live streams as much as I can every single day, so we can just talk about whatever you guys have questions about every single day, because like there's so many topics that like we could cover that like I will never be able to upload fast enough to like make content like that, and like algorithmically like I'm not going to be able to really discuss all of that in a way that like I can get it to you, if that makes sense, other than like the daily dose of dragon feather and just answering your questions in real time. That's at least what Pickle Chips tells me is probably the best route, because like I said, I work in the entertainment industry, and like that includes like music industry, acting industry, and film industry, and like I am trying to be really creative in like that field, so there's that. And then also with like the short form content, I am I can't eat on acid. Why? There's a dragon blocking my fridge. What are those comments? Oh my gosh, you totally just sidetracked me. Dragon blocking my fridge. Oh, that's silly. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Okay, I came in late. Who is Pickle Chips? Oh, Pickle Chips is the celestial, one of the dragon guardians I work with. He's a celestial dragon guardian, and he just wants me to refer to them publicly as Pickle Chips. So, yeah. Dragon. Pray dragon. Yeah, Pickle Chips is a dragon guardian that is very, very near and dear to me, and is very protective, like probably one of my most protective guardians, and is like probably one of my closest guardians like that I work with. So yeah. Why do you think children see more things like fairies or ghosts and teens and adults can't see? It's because when you're like a child, our brains produce DMT. If you didn't know that, our brains produce DMT, and our brains are full of the most DMT when we are children to about the age of 5 or 6, or maybe 7. And then when we sleep, right, we have a DMT cycle when we sleep in REM sleep. or rapid eye movement sleep, and then we have a lot of DMT released in our brains when we die. So the DMT is the strongest hallucinogen known to man, and so when the children are children, they're literally just constantly tripping on DMT. I'm actually so serious with you. So that's why they can literally see things like fairies and ghosts, which is why I say, like, when you engage with things like earth medicine, literally like DMT or like ayahuasca, for example, that's why you have to remember how to be like playful like a child and, you know, curious, because any sort of other conditionings that you bring into it can sometimes fry your brain, right? Which is why it's not for everybody, and you have to be respectful and like go to the right places and spaces to use that kind of medicine, if that makes sense. Easy, because they aren't conditioned to not believe. That too, that as well, chicken nuggies. As teens and adults, you're told not to believe in magic, so that's just what we go through. Children and babies are inherently magical. Yes, of course, chicken nuggies, which is why I feel like our greatest teachers are our children. But pickle chips, and it makes no sense when dragons eat only when necessary. Azura understands this best. Azura is the only one. What? No, pickle chips is just a nickname. That's it. Dragons and ghosts are different, right? Of course, yeah. Mystery Forest. That explains a lot for me. Hell yeah, Alfred Cordova, I'm glad. For example, one of my family members is open to these things, so I always have been too. Yeah, that's awesome. My dad has always just been kind of like, my dad's an Aquarius, by the way, so he's just kind of always been like a radical thinker, like thinking outside of the box and like, you know, like questioning like the status quo. Like that's a very like Aquarian thing to do. And so like he was always like, you know, question everything. He was like, question authorities, like don't be afraid, you know, like to find your own way kind of thing. So Aquarius gang, yeah, hell yeah, it's scientifically proven. What is? Hold on, I missed your other one. For example, one of my family members is open to these things. Oh yeah, for ghosts, I think you mean. Yeah, I've totally seen that. Boring discussions. Oh, Jimmy boy, boring username. Ghosts and dragons can coexist as one being, actually. And Azura knows this. Okay, fair. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one, my friend. Sort of, yeah. When, what's it say? It says, when I was a kid, anytime I had to sleep, I used to collect all of my plushies all over my bed because I was scared of a monster. I'm not sure if I actually saw something, but yeah. You know what? Like, when we're children and we're like going through like, what's it called? When we're going through like our developmental years and we're learning how to engage with our reality, and you know, we also have like our imaginations too as children, and depending on the environments that we're in, it'll really kind of set the stage for us to like interpret our reality as what we're seeing, you know. And our nervous systems are very much ruled by our parents. So like if your parents were dysregulated as a kid, you were more likely to interpret unknown stimulus as something to be afraid of, right? Especially if you don't have like a parent that shows curiosity at things like that, right? Or even curiosity about you. So sometimes that is kind of like in tandem with that. But sometimes, you know, children, especially children that are very gifted in the sense that they can see beyond the veil and they have like, you know, those psychic senses and they're really tuned into things like that. If they don't have like adults around them who are aware of how to protect them spiritually and how to keep them in a safe space energetically and how to regulate their nervous system, you know, like sometimes like curious energies, might pass through. That's why I feel like a lot of people will have an experience with a tall man shadow with a, like, almost like a top hat or like a cowboy hat. Like, I think he's called like the hooded shadow or something like that. I don't know exactly. I know there's some name for him on like the internet. I think he would be like under like cryptid lore or something like that with shadow people, for example. But like I know I had an experience of that, and my family has always had really scary experiences with like paranormal activity. Like I could make an entire channel about paranormal activity just from like my experiences as a child. And I've like made some videos about it in the past, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. Maybe I will. Oh yeah, the Hat Man. Thank you for correcting me, Nightmare Fuel Studios. But maybe I'll share some of my ghost stories live during October, if you're in there, if you're interested. But yeah, so that's something that I also kind of relate to with shadow people too. Sometimes I feel like shadow people can be just like curious spirits that might be interested in your energy or your aura that find you, you know? You know? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, my friends. Which actually can make it harder for us to sleep, which is why some of us are night owls. No, exactly. The veil is thinnest well at the nighttime, which is why I feel like most creative, because I'm able probably to channel my guardians the best at night, and my like psychic abilities at night, because the moon's out, and that's like what like elevates my power with that kind of like experiences. For example, I feel more inclined to do things like yoga or things like breath work or things like active spiritual practices when like the sun is out, because that is like where I get my power for that kind of activity. But psychic power like is like premium at night, I guess. So I am a night owl for that. I also think it's because of the neurodivergence. I like being up late for that. I like the peace and the quiet that I get. I don't like that I, you know, like that I hear like all of this noise during the day. It makes it hard for me to focus on things like my craft, which is why I'm such a big fan of like taking naps in the middle of the day for my astral projection. It's, or like just for like lucid dreaming or like anything like that. So can you do live stream on some of your paranormal activities? Yeah, I'll absolutely do that in like October for spooky season. I think that'll be fun. Why is that as a child we see the spirits but then grow up to only feel their presence? I mean, that happened to me, so I don't know what's common phenomena. Okay, so there's a couple things that come into play with that. One, it depends on how your adults around you treat you, right? So did they like scold you for your power? Did they do any of that? And then second, how much are you actually being poisoned? Like, how calcified is your pineal gland? Like how much like crappy food are you eating? Like how like muddied is your channel, right? So when you're like a child, like you're able to do like, what's it called? You're able to I think my boyfriend just got home. You're able to receive messages better because like there's less like, I guess, impurities or pollutants in your vessel or your channel, which is your human body. So that helps you like connect with it. Hi, Papa. You want to come say hi? I'm live streaming. People are asking questions. But yeah, so there's that. It seems like most people on the spectrum are night owls. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Definitely am. So that's like some things that could come into play for why that happens to people. We are gonna change the topic though, because like my boyfriend doesn't like that kind of thing. So like I don't want to talk about paranormal stuff right now. But like, yeah, I think that you have a specific chromosome that makes you fall asleep during the day. Oh, really? And that makes you active at night. I forgot the name of it though. Do you know where that's from? Do you know like what study that's from? Because I have no idea. Hey Archdragon, welcome back. Help, LMFAO, that's so mean. You guys are so silly. Oh yeah, no, that checks. I eat like shit. Yeah, so then that's probably why chicken nuggies. So like, just understand that like you're more than, and I deal with this too, because like trust me, I hate how much I like In-N-Out. Welcome to live stream. This is Dilcy. Welcome back, Bubba.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, how was your day by the way? Just everybody say hi. He just got home from a long day at work. So how was it?
Good.
Good. You ready to rest? Ready to hang out? So yeah, the cat just came inside. She's so cute. Everyone's saying hello. Why are you messaging like this now before you were messaging like this now? You're lying. What? I'm so confused, my friend. I don't understand your comment. I'll do some research later and comment it because I need to do the digging. Yeah, I'm super interested. Hello, hello. Hi. Everybody's saying hi to you, Bubba. Yeah, because like as much as I love like my In-N-Out sometimes, like I know that every single time I make a poorer health decision, like I'm like compromising the ability that I could have to have a better channel, to have like like a clearer like message come through in meditation, to be able to stay focused for longer, to just be able to think clearer. You know what I mean? It's incredibly important, right? So that's why I think it's really important to kind of like balance the body, the mind, and the spirit, right? Like, but sometimes one is more in a crisis, it's like crisis scenario than the other. Oh my gosh, we have a cat. Hold on. Say hi to the kitten. Say hi to the kitten.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay.
oh. little bumble. Yes, basically, ASD produce more DMT, which causes a lot of us to not sleep, whether it's day or night. Are you for real right now? Do you have like, wow, you might have just blown my mind. Oh my gosh. So you're saying that people with ASD might have like higher DMT production? Oh my gosh, I literally have to find articles on that, because what? Hello, kitten. Oh my gosh. If you watch Tyra Banks, she had some vampires on her show, and one of them explained how she could not stay awake. Why do I feel like I vaguely remember that interview? Is she the one who like got her kids taken away? Is that why I remember that interview so vividly? OP, my live lagged. Oh, my live lagged. No! It's a real study for this, DMT, I swear. I just look up autistic producing more DMT. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you for the rabbit hole for me to go dive down, because that sounds amazing. That's probably why I struggle to meditate. I have an ED where I overeat and I'm addicted to junk food. Yeah, see, like, especially if you struggle with any kind of, like, eating disorders, it's gonna be, like, a little bit harder for you, just because, like, it's not impossible. I don't want to say that, because that's not true. It's just becomes like more of a challenge, I guess you could say. Even though like when you use like your practice, like that is like what I had to use to cope with like things like mental illness or things like trauma like that. But like at the end of the day, like it wouldn't have worked if I didn't have faith in it. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't have worked if I was like, if I wasn't like, I do believe in fairies, I do. If I didn't have the attitude, like, it just wouldn't have translated as medicine in the way that it did, right? Because, like, that's why, like, some people's belief in God translates as medicine for them in their life, because of the way they have faith in it, if that makes sense. I forgot to eat. I eat, but I forget to eat the right amount. Sophia, I feel like that's a neurodivergent thing. Like, I don't understand when I'm, like, hungry until I'm, like, famished. It's really, really unfortunate. Do you believe in aliens? I do. Do you believe in aliens? One time I tried to spell autistic and spelled acoustic. Yes. I say that all the time. I say I'm a little acoustic. It's fun. It's fun. I think we're gonna go eat some food though, since you guys are making me so hungry and my boyfriend just got home. We're probably gonna have some dinner, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Today was so much fun. Are you kidding me? Try putting an alarm on your phone. Oh yes, for sure, honestly. I do, but sometimes I sleep through that shit. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. And thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's such an honor to have you guys here. Like I said, you guys teach me so much. You guys are such a huge part of my life, and I couldn't like have the life that I have without you. So I just want to like take some time every day to say thank you and to remind you guys that you matter and that your attention is so valuable. And please, please, please be so careful and selective, and use your discernment with who you give your precious attention to, because it is precious, because you are precious. So thank you for joining me today. But until next time, stay geeky and freaky, little hatchlings. Blessed be, and bye.